Oh yeah, whatever. I gotta connect on here. Okay. Welcome to In the Spotlight. It's your girl Lisa, the Baltimore Paparazzi. And we on time. Yay. Check me out on Baltimore Paparazzi YouTube channel and on, I guess we're on Hardbody Radio Live on Facebook. I want to start off with saying I want to thank everybody in the Baltimore City for going along with the ceasefire. No murders, nobody killed anybody. So let's keep it for the next until I wish we could keep it 24/7, 365. But last week I have an artist who was on Blaze the Stage in June. As you all know, Blaze the Stage take pictures and then everybody gets an interview with me. I don't even call them interviews anymore. They're conversations. This week I have Iambition. I said it right.
Iambition.
Iambition. Okay, ambition. See, but you're ambitious, so that's what I say. I try to say myself. Ambitious. There you go. I try to save myself. So, as always with anybody that comes from the Blaze the Stage, well, anybody that does the Blaze the Stage, I have no knowledge of who they are unless I've seen them at Blaze the Stage before. And this is a young man that I have no idea. I know nothing about him. So we're going to find out some things about him in this next hour. So thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having me come through.
Well, I'm thanking you because a lot of people haven't contacted me about their, you followed through with what you were supposed to do, and I appreciate that. It's very professional. So how most of the people that do his shows, he's had some kind of contact with them. They recorded at his studio, or he knows them. So how is it that you know G Hood?
Well, I was looking for kind of like a studio to go to, and I was just looking around, and then I was like, okay, cool, hit him up, found out some prices. I was like, the prices was good. So after that, we built a relationship of going back and forth to the studio. So that's how we kind of kept that going. After that, he became like a big brother to me.
He does that to a lot of people. He's younger than me, a lot younger than me, but he acts like he's my big brother too. So I mean, and everybody that I've talked to that has had built that that rapport with him has basically said the same thing. And once you're friends with G Hood, he has your back.
He got my back 24/7.
Right. He's right, and he's not going to steer you wrong. And him and I've had him on the show a couple of times, and we've talked about how he's done for different artists, and he's given them advice, and they've ended up like not taking his advice and going the other way, and then they turn around and come right back and be like, yo man, you was right. So for being as young as he is in this business, but he's had a studio since he was 16. So like I said, for him being as young as he is, he's got that knowledge, and he's got that's why anybody that he puts on the stage, I already know I'm going to be impressed, because it's not going to be any kind of garbage, or I'm not going to be standing there going, oh my God, when is this over? I'm sorry that I didn't get to see the performance on was it the 29th?
Yeah, it was the 29th.
Because I was in Houston, and I was like, I didn't get to see any. I didn't see any like footage. The only footage that I really seen was of somebody that I already knew and I've already seen before. So one of the questions that I do ask, because like I said, it's a conversation. I do ask questions and we just go off of that. When was the moment that you knew this is what you wanted to do? This is like, well, damn, I can do this.
I mean, so my older brothers, they kind of was always kind of into music. So when I seen it, I was always around them recording, like way back when like the PlayStation was like around. They had a little thing when they recorded on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah.
So I was always around it. I threw a couple little like hooks on it, like with every song that they had for real. So basically, I was like, oh, I like this. So they were like, I always think it was funny for me to rap, and I was like, okay, I got into it, and I started loving it. I was like, okay, I'm thinking this is kind of serious. I'm gonna take it serious. Then I laid low, played around with it. 13, I was like, want to get back into it. Then when I lived in Louisville, Kentucky, I lived in Kentucky for like 3 years. So I went down there, and I met like a couple people. My man's Drew, my man's PJ, they kind of got me. They got that fire look like right back under me. And I was like, yeah, I might need to take this seriously. I've been riding the wave ever since.
That's what's up. Louisville, and Nappy Roots from down there?
Yep.
I met them. I met them when they were here like years ago. They are the coolest guys in the world.
They do real good for the city too.
You know what I mean? Yeah, they're always doing stuff. Like, cause I follow, like, Skinny DeVille's birthday is actually coming up this month. So yeah, I'll be shouting. Like I had his phone number. I had Skinny's phone number. Like, those guys, like when I met them at, there was a place, it was Paparazzi now, but it used to be Sonar, and like we stuck around and we're talking to them, and the guys were just like cool as shit, and I'm like, this is Nappy Roots, like this is awesome.
Yeah, I got a chance to meet them too.
Yeah.
I met them when I went to high school down there, and they came to like a big thing, and I was interested in talking to them, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to see what y'all had to do, because it's just like, music to me, I learned from Lou Benjamin Sleepy. He told me music is 10% craft, 90% business.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take that into account. I had to really think about it. Like, all right, I had to really understand. And I asked him, it was like, you know, why is music 10% craft and 90% business? He was like, look, it's 10% craft because you can have the craft all you want. You can be good all you want. You got to have that business mentality. For instance, like, you got to go to the studio. You got to put that quality out, because if you want to get signed, you feel me, you got to have that quality for somebody to be like, all right, he got talent, where that quality at. You got to put that music video time in, and you got to put all the time to make business transactions like how you let me on here today. This is a business move.
Right.
So this is putting me out there even more than where I'm already at.
Right.
Because I have a fan base, but this is building my fan base to a whole nother level.
Exactly. And this is what I try to tell people. I've actually had people come up to me and be like, oh, you don't know who I am. Everybody knows me. I'm like, no, everybody doesn't know you, because I don't know you. You know, and I've seen that's a lot in this scene. I've been in this music scene. I was first like it brought attention to me in 2006. So like I got to see a lot of different people, and it is constantly getting bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, you can't throw a rock in this city without hitting a rap, somebody who raps and who does music. So why is my home calling me? My home is trying to call my person that's what that clip is for. You can use one of them clips right there. Turn it sideways. There you go. And every young person that Hood has sent, like I was talking to people, and I was like, you know, you are a commodity. You got to think of yourself as you are a commodity, so you have to market and advertise yourself.
Yeah, I feel like even like how you dress is a brand of yourself. Like if I go to a show and I do a show, for instance, I'm not going to dress like I dress on the street. I'm gonna dress like I'm a superstar, because if I want to be a superstar, you got
for stardom. You know, you're dressing for the spotlight, basically. And like I said, everybody that Hood has sent my way, it's so refreshing to hear people say that, because, you know, I've dealt with people and they had no idea. You know, I was like, well, you need to get your BMI or ASCAP. Or you're just like, you're going to get your music stolen, because it happens every day. Like, a friend of mine named Ty Hill, which he used to go by the name of Ty Gutter, Drake stole his music, and he's got a YouTube video that he put his song and Drake's song side by side. It's the same flow. It's basically the same words. It's everything. You know, I don't know. He was supposed to be going forth with, you know, trying to sue him, I guess. There's plenty of stories in this city about industry artists stealing their music, because for one, they didn't, like, you know, one of my friends was like, I heard my hook in somebody's song, and I was like, and I wrote copyright. He was like, oh, I'm going to check. Why?
He had a situation where he got his music taken, and he was like, got to put that, like, this is yours, this is your brand, this is your name. Like, I'm about to get my name branded, so nobody can't just take my name, like, say, all right, my name's Iambition. Like, that's not where you work with me, because I'm going to just take that. This is my name. I'll get this, like, all of myself. Like, I even got it tatted on my body. Like, this is how I can take it seriously. Like, my music tells a story, and I'm tatted so much. Like my music, everything is tatted on. Like even like I got a tattoo of a mic on.
Well, my a couple of my friends, they did the same thing. You know, like I've noticed that a lot of people that do music, that are artists, that they you know, it used to be just like the music notes. You know, you see somebody and they would have music notes tatted on them. And then I started seeing microphones, and it was like the handheld, you know, the old-fashioned microphone, you know, the little round. Really taking this stuff serious. Like, this is what you really, really want to do.
Like, I'm paying this out for like a career kind of, real kind of basis. Just basically like, I'm going to do everything I got to do to make it so where, yeah, I'm going to go to that next level and that next step so I can actually get where I want to be in this music industry. Because everybody can't say, yeah, I'm going to be in the music industry for this amount of years. Like, no, I'm trying to get there. And once I get there, I'm going to establish myself and take that so as far as I can take it.
Right. I mean, look at Jay-Z.
Yeah, Jay-Z's doing it big.
You know, Jay-Z got to the point to where he put out an album, every couple years. He was good. Like, he made sure that he is relevant in the music scene as a whole. You know,
that's how I feel. Like Jay did that. Like I look up to Fabulous. That's like my main artist, 100%.
I got to take pictures of Fabulous at Summer Jam for 92Q.
That's my favorite artist all the time. Like any music-wise, anything I do music, I just look at Fabulous and be like, yeah, this is my favorite artist all the time, hands down. The reason why I'm like, why I pick Fabulous? Fabulous keeps it real. He's street. You know what I'm saying? He always finds a way to stay relevant without having to be all in the spotlight and everybody all on him. So I was like, yeah, I want to be cool like him and be stylish like him. So I like mimic in a sense, but put my own kind of style on.
Right. He when he came out with Breathe, that's when my husband was alive. And that song, he was on the computer and he's listening to the song and he's listening. And he was like, oh, baby, did you hear what he just said? And he took it back and he played it again. And that song to this day is still one of my favorites because, like, when I listen, to Fabulous, I hear so many things. The I'ma Do It song that he had a few years ago, like, the way he flips words and the way he does things is. I'm a very lyrical person. I like lyrics.
That's my man. Like, right. My key song, like any day of the week, is his song "Success is Revenge." Like that's my top song to him for real. Because I'm just like, yeah, listening to it. Like I listen to all his music. I've been listening to it since Ghetto Fabulous, his first album that he ever put out. And I was like, yeah, success is revenge. Because when you get successful, it's revenge. So people will always look down on you.
Right. So, I mean, you say you already have like a fan base, which that is awesome. You know, that's something that a lot of people don't understand, that they need that core fan base. I forgot where I was getting ready to go. Like I said, it just went right out my head. I got a major headache right now, y'all. It's just like throbbing right here in my temple. I don't know why, but it's just, I'm so off right now. But where was I going to go with this shit? I done forgot. Oh, okay. So you said your brothers. So you started off pretty early. You saying
5 years old.
Wow.
Music, so I've been trying to figure myself out in the sense of knowing who I am as an artist and building where this is my fan base. Because a lot of artists, what they get messed up at is they don't know who's their listeners. They don't want to figure out, all right, this is my listener. I'm going to try and get y'all hooked on it. They just all over the place. Right. I know myself, I know my fan base, but I also know if I had to switch up on any kind of beat and figure out how to change my flow to certain things, I'm able to do that, which some artists can't do. They can't transition. That's
I'm glad that you said that. I had an artist in here last week, and when I asked him the question about when he started, like when did you realize this is what you want to do? And he was like 2 years ago, and I was like, really? That to me that was late in life, because most people when I ask them that question, oh well, we was in middle school and somebody would be beating on the tables and and rapping and all. So when I hear like you started almost like at a very, very, very young age. so you've had like you said, you had your brothers kind of mentor you and and steer you in like, it's kind of like the generation in the hip hop scene here in Baltimore when I first came in. Like, we were learning as we were going along.
I'm still learning.
But then what we learned now, the next generation, we're able to, okay, you need to do this. You need to, this is how you do this. Being able to guide somebody. You're lucky that you're doing music now because you have access to internet. As far as it's easier for you to get your music on all, like the Google Play, the iTunes, Amazon. Like, it's easier for you to get a Spinrilla, all that stuff, because back in like 2008, it was so hard to get your music on YouTube. Like, that are all going to be all over. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. That way it's just not here in the city or, the surrounding counties or whatever. Now you're able to actually put your music out there and somebody in China is going to be able to hear it.
Yeah, like, I actually kind of build a fan base. What I do is to actually build my fan base. Like, I go on everything that's like social media related. Like, maybe Periscope. I may catch somebody listening to some music, like, hey, you're listening to some music, hey, you should check me out real quick. Or I'll go comment on rappers, like, Twitter, because my fan base is really on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and everything like that. So I just promote myself on everything.
Right.
So it's like, put it out there. They want to hear it. They're going to hear it. I got fans in Cali, London, and I was like, surprisingly, a whole bunch of people listening to it. I'm like, I guess I'm giving somebody a message that they want to hear.
Right. When you were talking about being able to, like, if need be, change up your flow for a beat, now, do you have, because I know, like, I have friends parts. My view on when you do a project is that you want to be able to make something for everybody. You want to make songs for everybody. Like, so, like, this song here is for the guys. Like, when the guys listen to it, they can relate to it. Then you got the one that's geared to the females. That way, because my thought is this: when you have a project and you hand it to somebody and they put it in their vehicle and they're listening, and the guys is like a preference, or are you just hip hop, all over?
I mean, I'm kind of can say I'm more like hip hop all over, but like for my fan base, it's just like, yes, I can transition, make some strong. Just like, hey, this is for you guys. If you've been through the same situations I've been through, go ahead, listen to my music. But then sometimes it's like I can get in, like, hey, for instance, like Drake, I could switch up and be like, all right, this is for the ladies. I want the ladies to listen to this. Hey, talk about relationship problems, because you may have been through a relationship problem. Like, I've been through them. Everybody's been through relationship problems, like ups, downs, all that above. Or just like, hey, I'm get you in your feelings.
Right.
Because I feel like music is a feeling. Like, you can't wake up one day and say, okay, I want to be a rapper. This is something that you had to be built for. Everybody can't be a hip-hop artist overnight. This is not a career for anybody. Like, to me, some people get into music for the wrong reasons.
Right.
My thing is, music is a passion. Don't get into it because you want the women, you want the money, you want the cars. I'm not really tripping about, you feel what I'm saying, a woman, because I'm not an ugly dude. I can get women. I'm not tripping about, okay, getting famous, like, oh, I'm going to get this badge. Like, nah, it comes in time. Everything comes in time. I'm not really like pressed about fancy cars, because I know when I get that money, half of these rappers go broke for majority of stuff they spend. I'm going to give me a nice little cheap little car, keep it up, and keep it moving. See, that's the problem. See, that's why I couldn't understand when Kendrick Lamar bought his sister for graduation a Camry, and everybody was all like, oh my God, he bought her a Camry. I was like, well, shit, can he buy me a Camry? Like, I mean, car's a car. You're trying to get to point A to point B.
Right. So, I think now, a few years back, the mentality was, because I have a nephew that he raps, and his mentality when he was like 17 was like, I want to get a deal, I want to get a deal, I want to get a deal. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? At that time, he wanted to sign with Cash Money, Young Money. He wanted to sign with them because he's a big Lil Wayne fan. And I was like, okay. I was like, all right. I was like, all right, so
You radio show coming?
Oh Lord. I was like, so what kind of deal do you want? And he couldn't answer me because he had no idea. Only thing that he wanted was the money. I said, well, do you realize this? Okay, say that you get a deal and they give you an advancement. Do you not realize that that advancement has to pay for your studio time? It has to pay for your photo shoots. It has to pay for everything. And then you have to pay that money back?
Like, if you look at it, all the movies been saying, the New Edition story, the
right,
about the whole 360 deals and everything, with all that, like, where's all the money going? How do you think that you was traveling, touring, you know, buying clothes, doing shows? Like, none of that is free.
Right, and that's why, I'm a big advocate for independent artists. Like you heard me before we went on air, Tech N9ne is one of my favorite artists, and he's made millions being an independent artist. I mean, yeah, he had somebody backing him, but they built that business. They built Strange Music up from the ground, and it takes a lot of hard work. And I'm like, okay, if you're going to get a deal, if you want a deal of any kind, get a distribution deal. Get somebody to help you distribute your music. But watch them, because they're going to do everything they can. They want that money, you know.
It's all about the money.
Right. So, that whole, my nephew, like, God bless him. He's talented as hell. I don't even know if he's still rapping anymore, because now he's a father and everything. But I had to break it down to him. I was like, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I mean, I understand that, I've got friends here in the Baltimore scene that have signed, like, they've had meetings with the record labels and all. They've had meetings and they've turned them people down because I'm not signing my life away. And I'm not,
deals is like fine print. You really gotta read that deal. Like, for me being honest, like, when the deal comes, I'm gonna get a lawyer to go over top of it, because you could say right now, all right, sign this deal, I'm gonna give you $500,000, not knowing, okay, you're saying this, you own all my music that I write, and I have to give you like 5 to 6 albums.
And right now, even to this day, Comp has a project at Def Jam that will never be released. It's just sitting there. It'll never be released because he doesn't own it. He doesn't own that music. Def Jam owns that music, and Def Jam is not going to release it. So, like I said, there's a lot of things that happen that don't happen now, and like, that's why out for the past like year. In different bar. Scar's the first one that pops to mind. I love Scar, but like Stars, I had Stars on here last week, and one of my other guests was like, I have no idea who he is, and I'm like, I've known Stars.
That's old school Baltimore music right there. That's like Boss Man. Like, I'm familiar with like Boss Man. My big bro Leno.
Leno. Leno knows me.
Yeah, that's like big bro. Like, I talked to him just on a whole bunch of things too. Big bro Easy. He was on the song On the Run with Blue Benjamin Sleepy, so I know I conversed with them on the whole Baltimore scene, how I'm like pushing in the Baltimore area, because I know how to push it to like every other state, but I got to win home first.
See, and that's what I had asked Stars about, because Stars actually went on tour with Tech N9ne for 70 cities, and Tech and him are like brothers now. Like, it's just amazing. He was like, Tech wasn't real sure about him at first, putting him on the scene, putting him on the tour. But after after a few cities or whatever, he started to see that Stars he's a really good artist. He's a really good performer. So when I was at Soundstage at the Tech N9ne show, Strange Music, he brought Stars on, and when they announced Stars, I'm like, yay, because I know Stars. And there was like almost dead silence in there. And I was like, so he was up there rocking the stage, and I'm like, okay. And like, I'm looking at, I'm a people watcher. I watch the crowds to see their reaction to who's on stage. Even like, if I was at the show in June and you're on stage, I'd be taking pictures, but I'd be looking at the audience too, to see, even though they may not be reacting to you, but I could see how they feel about your performance.
Yeah, I was kind of noticing that too. Like, I look and perform, and then like, I take a basis off what I'm looking at. I'm like, okay, what can I do better than this next artist that made like everybody looking at him? Like, you're a performer. You're here to perform and show your talent. But it's like, all right, cool. I'm looking at you, looking at your vibe. You could have did this a little bit better.
Right.
So with my time on stage, I'm gonna go in there and give them everything I got.
Yeah,
The whole thing.
I know artists who their motto is 10 or 10,000. They're going to give their, you know, they don't care how many they're going to give their all. But I noticed with Stars, like, he's got a, like we talked about it, he's got a fan out in like Colorado who has his name tattooed on her. That's in Colorado. But here in Baltimore, he didn't get hardly any love at Soundstage. He was at Summer Jam, and like it was hardly, you know, it was just because they didn't know who he was. And I was like, he was like, that was a tough crowd. I was like, and so when he come on the show, I said I wanted to talk about that. And it's harder, and you could talk to just about anybody. You could probably, well, I don't know, because New York is like the mecca of hip hop for me.
Yeah, it is.
Because I used to go to Brooklyn. We used to go to Brooklyn like every month to go up there, and it's like as soon as you walk into Brooklyn, it's just like hip hop. But you could talk to just about any industry artist, and they'll tell you the same story, that it's like people didn't support them. You know, they had like, you know, people around that supporting them, but trying to get the support, you're never going to get the support of the whole city. That's why I tell everybody, get your core base, and then expand out. But you've already, like I said, with this internet, you've already expanded out, because like you said, you've got fans over in London, you know, out in Cali, different places, you know. So that core base, getting that love at home is so hard, because I'm telling you, Baltimore is just hard on the artists.
They really are. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like, if they haven't seen you in the streets, it's just like, oh, I'm an artist. Like, when you say you're an artist now, it's like,
you too?
Like,
you too? Yeah.
It's just like, you gotta take it seriously. Like, you can't be a rapper, like I said, overnight. This is something that you had to be built for. This is something that everybody has to see that potential.
Right.
Like, when I get on stage, like I did the whole Blaze the Stage thing, I was just actually looking at it and listening, looking at everybody else, and I'm like, okay. I seen everybody, you know, jumping to my music and looking at music, and eye openers. I was like, look, that's what I'm here for.
Right.
And I had people come up to me after the show like, yo, I like that.
Right.
Hey, I want to do something with you. And I'm like, I'm all about, all right, if you want to do something, hey, we all put each other on. Because if we all ain't sticking together, we all can't get the same mission.
Right. And that's like, I used to have, the reason why the Blaze the Stage show came about is because I used to have a show called In the Spotlight. It was a showcase. And I did it for over a year, and then I got tired of dealing with artists who just weren't professional. And I just got tired of it, you know. Oh, because what I did was I did ticket sales, but we split the money. We split the money 50-50. You know, I give you 15 tickets, you give me 75, you keep the other 75. That's the way I did it. And so I'm just like, I was just tired of doing the Blaze Stage. I mean, the In the Spotlight show, and the Hood was like, "We're gonna do the Blaze Stage show." I was like, "Cool." Everybody that did my show, like, I had one act called Division, Code 17. They're from Lawrence and Division, and they did, out of 12 shows, they did 10 shows. And as every artist got off that stage, one of the guys named Rel, he would go up to them and be like, "Yo, that was hot," and he would just, you know, he would just want to network with everybody. And I'm starting to see a lot more of the wanting to network, you know, wanting to give props to somebody as they get off the stage. You know, I'm seeing more of it, whereas maybe like 3 years ago, it would just be like, they'd be just standing there looking at you, and they're really vibing to you. They're really listening to what you're saying, and they're really feeling you. But, you know, you gotta put that face on, like, yeah, okay, my man's is better. But he knows deep down this guy's hot. He's got something.
I mean, I've never had that kind of hate to where it's like,
right,
and I'm better. I have a whole bunch of people just coming up to me like, I'm really feeling you. Like, all the other artists that is like there for real, I'm like, I'm not really interested in them. I'm trying to hear what you're about. I like your couple songs right here. I like your freestyle that you have on this beat. I like your actual own songs. Like, I feel like if you're going to do a beat, you know, you got to have good instrumentals, because like, the instrumentals bring people in. If you got good instrumentals, you also already have to have good lyrics to go about it. And if you're going to speak lyrics, you got to bring all that real so everybody can hear it. Because I feel like if you're not speaking that real, no one will hear what you got to say.
Right, because, I mean, like one of the artists that I really just in the past, like I say probably about a year or so, has been Kevin Gates. It's because I'm a person, like I said, I listen to lyrics, but if I can relate to your song, then I'm really gonna like your song even more because I can relate to it. And that's like you said, like being able to relate to the music. And I've heard there's a song that Yo Gotti, I think it was Yo Gotti, I don't even know because I don't listen to the radio or nothing like that. But I liked the beat so much, but I didn't like the song, so I went and got the instrumental, and I have the instrumental on my phone because I love the beat so much. And that's where you, like you were saying, you have to have. To me, it's a whole big package. To me, looking at a performance, that's why I wish I could have been at the show. That way, I could have really been able to talk more about that, you know. Because my thing is, you can have a great song. You can be telling me a story like I do, but then when you get on that stage and you don't have a great performance, I'll be like, oh, okay. It's a whole package. You know what I mean? And I think, because how old are you?
20.
See, you're very young, but you already got that knowledge. You know what I mean? You already got that. You already know that it's a whole big package. It's not just, oh, I can rap. My people told me that I'm good, and that was it. Because you already.
I mean, like, I feel like even with your people's gotta tell you what's real too. Because you can be the most horrible as
yes, man. I hate
like, I'd rather, like, I go to hood and be like, all right, what do you think about it?
Oh, he gonna tell you the truth.
Like, he gonna tell you the truth. Like, I took his advice. He was like, yeah, stop trying to be like a flaunt rapper. Like, tell what your real story is. Because nobody want to hear that now. When you get to that position of where you can do that, go ahead. You can talk about it all you want.
Right.
But right now, they want to hear the real. They want to hear something they can relate to. I'm not going to keep talking about, well, I got this amount of money, and the next day you see me standing on the corner catching the MCA.
I hate that.
Like,
I swear I hate that. Like, I used to, and because I was running my own shows, I ran into that so much. They would get on that stage and talk about driving this car, and they got this watch, and they got this money, and they got that. And I'm like, but
it's funny to me. Like, I'm cheap. I'm not even going to lie. Like, I'll spend money. I got the money, but I'm not going to spend it on reckless. Like, okay, I'm going to spend it on this and Gucci belt just to show off. Like, I feel like this. You spending unnecessary money to fit an image. You can get the same money, get something stylish that fits you, and you can take that and put something on that else. Like, why am I going to buy a $200 Gucci belt when I can buy a belt for like $16? And it'll last the same amount of time that Gucci belt does. All you're doing is just giving Gucci more money, and that belt won't break the same way. Like
Gucci don't care about you. Gucci don't care at all. That's like I used to say about buying expensive ass tennis shoes. I'm sorry. I told my son, if you want, I'm not buying no Jordans for no 200 and like, how much did my ex pay for his? Like $250 for a pair of tennis shoes one time. I said, are you fucking crazy? And I was, are you crazy? I was like, do you know what I could do with $250 right now?
Yeah, $250 is a lot, but I see, like, I'm in the shoes heavy. So I like my music and my shoes. Like, I'll go ahead and buy shoes out the ass because I love my shoes.
Let me ask you, because my ex is like this. You got shoes in boxes that you ain't never wore yet, have you?
No, I've worn every shoe. Like, I get it, and I'll at least wear them at least one time. At least one time, maybe twice, and I'll just set them to the side, like, all right, I'm gonna wear this for the winter time. All right, this is a summer shoe, and I'm gonna take that and wear it just like that. That's how I take with the shoes, because it's like, why buy all these shoes and you never gonna rock them and never have nothing with?
Scar Akbar, like I said, I was mentioning Scar Akbar. Scar's been in the scene. He's been on the radio too. But he also does graphics and he makes beats. He is just a renaissance man. He can do everything, and it's just, and he's good at everything. And it's just, I'm like, really? Do you have to be this good? He is an Adidas. He's got everything Adidas, and he has boxes and boxes and boxes of shoes that I think he just recently, I think he like donated them, you know, because like he was like, I'm not gonna wear these anymore. You know, like he wore them, like you said, wear them a couple times, and because like I don't understand the shoe thing, but I know a lot of people who like they'll see a pair of shoes and be like, oh my god, these are so hot, and I'm like, they're tennis shoes. No, yeah, they're nice color, you know, but it's just something that that people like to collect, or they?
I mean, my reason for getting a whole bunch of shoes, it was like when I was little, my mother was like, I'm not spending all that money on shoes, or you're not gonna get what you want. Now, when you get old enough to buy the shoes that you want,
buy what you want.
You can get what you want again. And I was like, all right, I'm at the age where I can buy any shoe I want. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get all the shoes I couldn't get when I was younger, all the Jordans I couldn't get, all the Dokes I couldn't get. Like, I mean, I had all the shoes that everybody wanted, but I would get like one pair, and I'm like, the new color just came out. I want that one. No, you can't have it.
They're like, no, I ain't got the money for that. I know, because I'm a mother, and my son he's 19, and I'm like, I told him, when he was younger, same thing. Now, like, everybody has asked my son if he's going to, get into rapping, because I'm in the scene and he's grown up in the scene, and I'm like, he raps, but he doesn't write his own stuff. Like, he tries to, but my daughter writes. She'll never get on stage.
You can actually start writing for some artists.
Right.
Artists got ghostwriters.
A lot of them.
Like, for instance, like, my brother just straight told me, like, I listen to all his music. So, listening to, like, Lano, Benjamin CB, all of them, and then, like, listen to, like, Fab and everybody. So I kind of built my lyrics around them.
Like your style?
Like, my whole style around that. And I'm like, all right, so what am I, like, who am I going to want to be as an artist? Like, even with the whole name frame.
They come in.
But, like, I had the whole name frame, like, even with my whole rap name. So
right.
It was just like, my whole rap name just came from, and like, I was listening to Wale's song Iambition.
Okay.
So I was listening to it, I was like, all right, I really rock with that song. So I was like, all right, I'm going to put I in front of and call myself Iambition. And this is my name ever since. So I was like, all right, I really rock with Wale for that.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, besides Fab, who else is kind of like somebody that's like your go-to that you listen to?
It's a couple, but if I go down my list, besides Fab, I listen to a little bit of Max B, some Styles P, like the whole lot.
Ain't he coming home soon?
So it's just like, yeah, Max about to come out like next year.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I've been growing up listening like them, like all the lots. For instance, like Big Daddy Kane, like I go back old school.
Okay.
Like I'm not really all in that new school. Like I didn't hear about a Lil Uzi till
yeah.
Till like he was like a year, and I was like, okay. I started listening to him. This is some turn up music. Okay, I listen to it when I'm going in the car to a party or something. It's just like I listen to my set artists, and when they put something out new, I'll go listen to it. But other than that, I listen to myself and work on myself.
Yeah, I'm too old for all that new stuff. My friend is. Have you heard of Black? Dude from down in Atlanta.
Yeah.
He sent me he was like, this is what I've been listening to, and I'm just like, okay. He was like, you need to listen to this song because this song is you. The whole first verse is nothing but you. And I was like, hold up. So I'm listening to it. I was like, no, it's not, but it was. Like, as like I said, and I've listened to his whole project. I was listening to it yesterday, and that's about like one of the newest artists that I listen to. Like I said, I listen to Gates. I listen to old school stuff. I listen, my go-to is like I listen to like a lot of local artists because I'm in the scene and I vibe with them, and those are the ones that need the way I look at it, those are the ones that need my support. They need my support. I love Fabulous. Like I said, I got to take pictures of him. I was this close to him. And I wanted to reach out and touch him so bad, but I did not want to be a groupie. But he did a fabulous job on that stage, and that's the first time I've seen him perform live.
And that's why I try to like mimic his whole style. It's like not mimic it, but like put myself in that whole category. All right, this is what I'm trying to be like. This is who I'm trying to set myself in a position where I don't really need it there. I can do it all on my own.
Right. Like
I would listen to all his interviews and just be like, all right, this is how when my interviews will go, how I'm a key piece everything and how I'm a word everything to know what I'm talking about. Because I've seen a lot of interviews with some of these artists and they don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen, especially on like the Breakfast Club. I'm gonna go ahead and play the two songs you sent me was Jam and Zoomin'.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jam was the song off of A$AP Rocky. I freestyle his RAF, and I was like, yeah, I can do a better version of that, because A$AP Rocky kind of fell off on me too, because I was like feeling his style too when he first came out with the whole, long live A$AP and all that.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play them, and then we'll come right back, and we'll talk a little bit more. And it looks like my next guests are in the building. I'm glad y'all got here early. I appreciate that so much. You just don't know. I love professionalism. So we'll be right back in the spotlight. I still got this headache, yo. We're live on the iPad and we're live on the YouTube. If you smoke, you can smoke in here. Cigarettes and weed, whatever. Just to let you know. Because 3D gave the speech when he first came in. Whatever. But yeah, I was like, Fab was awesome. Like, I was the first. Like, I don't go to concerts like that unless it's somebody that I really want to see, like Ghostface and them. You know, but Fab, I was just mad. Their sets are so short. Tech Nine was on stage for over 2 hours himself. And I got
all his mixtapes. Like, all
Fab. I'm gonna tell you.
I got it.
The one thing I like about Fab, like you said, I like the fact that he's not in the spotlight. Like he's there, but he's not. Like you don't hear about him getting in scandals and, you know, doing crazy shit. And like he's kind of a laid back. He does his music and he lives his life. You know, so like I said, lyrically, I fucking love his music.
That's all I listen to. Like, he's my main influence on everything. Like, people may say, I listen to this artist. Like, no. Like, ever since I heard Fab, I was always into it. Like, when I listen to an artist, it was just like, I'm there. I'm with him. Like, even I listened to Eminem for a good portion of time. I was like stuck on him for a long while. Then I heard Fab. I was like, I don't even want to listen to you anymore. Like, that's how that went.
Oh, I still love M to this day. M is one. Like, I don't, like, people say, well, who's your favorite artist? I don't have one. I have multiples because vibing was like I said, Kevin Gates. There's so much music in his that I can just relate to, and it fits my life because I go through crazy shit. Just like one song on Black's album is called MTFU, and it's about he's like telling his girlfriend that her best friend was the reason, was like causing the issues and problems, and I just went through that like 4 years ago.
Yeah, like my next artist is like Dave East guy. So I said Dave East.
Yeah, he's on a song. I can't remember who. I just listened to it the other day, and I like him too. Because like I said, a lot of things my ex like he'll talk me about. Like both of us love Trey Songz. Trey Songz is my ultimate favorite. I don't like, he be talking trash about women, but I love it. So I like ratchet music anyway. Like anything, it's just like I don't know. He's like, I don't understand. How can you like this song? And he's talking about cheating on his girl. I was like, because I went through that. I understand. It is. It really, truly is. This song, let me tell you, I was trying to download it because, like I said, I left my flash drive here. So I was trying to download it, and this doesn't just download. It starts playing it. Like, it downloads it, but it plays it. And the computer was running slow. So I couldn't close it out. So I had to just let it play until it finally popped up and I could close it out. I was like, oh, so you just really wanted to play. I was like, I like this. Here it comes. shit today.
We all in the same game, just different levels. Dealing with the same hell, just different devils. Get up on my level, get up on my level. It's all about the level.
It's my signed copy of The God Box by David Band. I just met him when I was in New Orleans.
Like, I ain't gonna lie, like, if I meet Fabulous, that's gonna be like the epitome, like, I'll be a Fabulous.
People were asking me, so how do you feel about the things that he was saying on some of the songs, talking about white people? I was like, I agreed with him on most of it.
I mean, if somebody's speaking of real, you gotta agree.
Right, exactly. Speaking facts. And I'm back in the spotlight, Baltimore Paparazzi, talking to Iambition. And that was 2 of his songs that he sent me, Jam and Zoomin'. I was just telling him, Zoomin', I was trying to download it because I left my flash drive here last week. Because I was trying to hurry up and get out of here. I forget what I had. What did I have to do last week? I had to do something. I don't even remember. My head, I told you I got a headache. I can't even think straight right now. But I just hurried up and got out of here, and I left my damn flash drive. So I was trying to download it, and then it just... Most of the songs that y'all send me, I don't listen to. Like, I'm listening to it while you're here. I don't listen to it while I'm home or nothing like that. Because usually when I listen to music, I listen to it in my car. Because I don't have a stereo or nothing in my house. Yeah, I haven't had a stereo in my house since I lived there with Poplar Grove, and that was let's see, that's about 8 years ago. So yeah, yeah. And those and you know what, and those beats were, they weren't the same, or they were different beats. Like I was saying, being able to be on different kinds of beats, not, you know, and it's nothing against any artist, but a lot of artists, there's certain beats that I know they could not get on. Like my ex, he get on my nerves, but he can get on any. It's like he can get on any beat, like any beat, and just flow on it. I'm like, how the hell you do that?
Like, I see it as I can change my flow up.
Right.
Like, literally, like, take the time to listen, like, Stack Bundles. Like, I seen, like, he changed the flow up. Like, you know, God rest his soul.
Right.
Listen to Stack and Shinks, too. Like, all my, like, the whole music thing was based around New York rappers.
Right.
Like, I really wasn't into, like, all the Atlanta rappers. Like, all right, I'll bump a 2 Chainz once I hear when he was Titty Boy and all that, but I'm really not into it. I'm into that whole New York kind of base.
Have you, this is one question that I wanted to ask, and I'll probably ask you guys the same thing. Do you think that when these artists get signed and get deals, because I know for a fact, but does it seem like when they first come out, you're really vibing to them, and then like their next project is like something totally different because they're being forced to be different?
I've seen it plenty of times. We say, for instance, like Lil Wayne, like a lot of his projects, you can listen to, like, all right, they don't even sound like Wayne. This is something he had to hop on. It's a couple other stuff feel like that. He had to hop on beats that didn't really want to hop on to push out albums, like, for instance, like Chief Keef, when he had the whole thing with 300. He didn't want to do half of them songs he put out. He just did it because he had to, because you had to fit that quota. Right,
and that's like, that kind of goes back to like the whole thing of you know, getting these deals and signing with signing with different record labels and all. You're kind of like, to me, it's always been kind of like you're selling your soul, because you sign on, and then you have to do what they tell you to do. That's like, I had a conversation with somebody, I think it was in here, that the reason why we're listening to what's called quote unquote mumble rap right now is because that's what the industry wants us to listen to.
Yeah, I can't even listen to it. I don't even listen to like Lil Yachty. Like, he hot out right now. Like, I'm not trying to listen to it.
He is annoying as shit.
Like, I just heard DJ Academics thing that he just put out about Lil Uzi talking about, so if you're over 25, you're old nigga in the industry, which sounds stupid.
I can't wait for him to get 25 and see what he has to say.
23 right now.
Right.
So when you hit 25.
Oh, then you old.
Like, you sound stupid. Like, you got to realize everything you put on social media.
Kodak Black is another one who just, he said, like, you cannot make any kind of statements in this world without somebody either putting it out there and you sound real dumb, or they misconstrue what you say. you know, like everybody was getting on about how he say, I don't date dark females or whatever, I don't like dark females. Okay, that's your preference, but now you're really alienating people because I don't see color. That's hard for me. I don't see color. My children are multiracial. I'm freaking Cherokee and Sioux Indian. I got a little bit of German, a lot of Irish. Like, I am all nationalities. I was not raised to see color. You know, I mean, my father, and my mother too, they do have their prejudiced ways, but it was never color. So when he made that statement, I was offended. Because how can you say that about a woman? A black woman at that? Why you
But
know?
I say it as this though: if a dark-skinned female tried to throw him some ass, he gonna take it.
Hell yeah!
Like she bad.
With his ugly ass.
I can't even have his music. Like, come on, you don't call yourself a project baby. Like, you sound like a Baltimore nigga who just got a lead check. I can't even listen to you. Like,
see, and that's like my homeboy B.O.M.B, who brought me into this Baltimore hip hop scene back in 2006. That's what he calls it lead baby music. He said because that's what it sounds like, lead baby music. And like, my son will be playing music, and I'll be like, what the hell are you listening to? And he'll say whatever it is. I'll be like, who the hell is that?
Like this dude who just came, like XX Tentacion, and I was like, yo, who is this nigga? Like,
I don't know where these people come from.
I was like,
But
you know how you picking your name?
But it's crazy to me because there's plenty of underground. I don't even like to say local artists. I hate to say that. There's a lot of underground artists here in Baltimore that are 10 times better than a lot of the artists that are on the industry scene. And I've always been like, I'm at the forefront. I'm waving the hip hop banner. I mean, I even wore my I am Baltimore hip hop shirt today. That thank you, Frank Lewis. Y'all want these shirt? Hit up Frank Lewis. He'll tell you how much. He'll tell you how to get the shirt. But you know, I'm staying at the forefront, flying that flag for Baltimore hip hop because, for one, Baltimore hip hop doesn't get the recognition that it should, and you know, they say it's a lot of the support, but it is the support of everybody. It's not just the support of the artists supporting other artists. You need a fan base, and you need the fans, and you need it's a lot of things. You know, I had this conversation with Squirrel Wide like for years now. It's gotten to the point now that when Squirrel sees me, I'll be like, hey, Squirrel. I'll be like, I'm trying my best, Lisa. I'm trying to get the local artist on the radio. I'm trying. And I'm like, I was just saying, hi, Squirrel. So when I was at Summer Jam and he was on stage and he seen me down in the pit, he come over there and I was like, hey. He was like, hey. I said, I'm here working for 92Q. And he was like, it's about damn time. Because I'm supposed to have been working with them last year because I was supposed to be writing blogs on the local scene. Because it's so much that they really don't know. And like I said, you can't throw a rock in the city without hitting somebody who raps now.
Everybody are rapping now.
You know, it's just, and like you said, and I've said it time and time again, I have been at shows and I've sat there and been like, oh, he needs to be in the crowd with me. He doesn't need to be on that stage.
I ain't gonna lie, like I was working with a company called My After, which everybody like, you know, you throw money out there to make money back. And I would go to them shows and I was like, no, I can't even deal with half of these artists. It was just one dude, I'm not even gonna give him recognition. But I was like, yeah, this is not for you. I was like, everybody was just laughing at him. And he really felt,
I believe it. I believe it.
It wasn't for you.
You know,
leave it alone.
And nowadays you can't say, like, I give criticism, but it's creative criticism. If I tell you, if I hear a song, you send me a song and I'm like, I listen to it and I hit you back and I just say, I don't like it. You're gonna be like, why don't you, you know, what do you mean you don't like it? But I don't do that. I'll be like, look, not liking how you're flowing on here. It sounds like you're rushing, or I'm not liking how the beat is. I don't think the beat and you, like, I give you like my opinion on it. I'm nobody, but I'm a music lover, and I can only go by, you know. But it's like you cannot tell somebody anything about their song or how they do anything without, oh, you just hating. Why? How am I hating? I'm just a listener. I'm not hating on you.
To me, it's not even hating. I like the constructive criticism. So if you're going to tell me, like, all right, I don't like this, I don't like how you said this, you can say something better, that's going to build me up as an artist to be like, all right, let me change this up, let me hear what you're saying,
right.
Add that and change up what I have to change up to fit, you know, my style, but make myself better as an artist.
Right, because I had another artist. He would send me songs and they wouldn't be finished. Like he would be sending me, it would have like the hook, his verse, and then the hook, and then it'd be the space for the second. You know, it would be an unfinished. He'd be like, just let me know what you think about this song, and I would listen to it. And he's another one. He's a fantastic artist. He just lacks focus in following through what he needs to follow through. So he's got all these songs, but he's not following through by getting them on a project, getting them mixed down, putting them on a project, and putting them out there and pushing the project. But he's a fantastic artist, and he sent me one song, and I was like, I'm listening to it. He's like, something seems off to me. What do you think? And I'm listening to it, and I'm listening to it. Then I listened to it a few hundred times, it seemed like. And I said, well, how about if you just don't say I think it was like one or two words, right, as he's going into the hook. I said, because it sounds like you're trying to rush those words in there, like you're trying to cram them in there. He was like, well, you know what, I'm gonna think about, I'm gonna try it that way. You know, I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying just think about it.
But you're a listener. You see what I'm saying? Your listeners always count. Like I may be in the studio with Hood, and me and Hood might be doing something. People like, look, yeah, I'm gonna take that back. Like we be in the studio for hours working on like, oh, I'm coming in there with like 8 songs. Like I'm trying to do 8 songs. No, that's a rush. We want to take this time on every song you do. Like I can go in there and be like, all right, this sounds good, and be like, no, redo that again. I'm like, all right, play that back.
Oh yeah.
I play that back from me, so I can hear like, oh yeah, you right. Hold on, I might be in there tweaking my own stuff. Like, all right, tip me right here, and like read that all over again, because I'm just like, I don't even like it. Like I'll do songs, like I'll be into a song for that moment. I'm like, all right, everybody might be like, I'm in love with this song. I like this song. I play this song every day. After a while, to me, it's like I'm on to the next project. Right. I may listen to it, but it's just like I'm bored with it now because I'm ready for the next big thing for me to do. So,
is there like have you come across yet the music of yours that you can't, like, you just can't even listen to it anymore because it brings up, because you put yourself in the song and you listen to it and you're like, I don't want to go back to that place?
Yeah, it's a couple songs I got on YouTube that was just like when I first started. So when I listen to them, I'm like, oh, that was me. Or like, oh, I said this. Or like even when I do like hooks on certain songs, I'm like, oh, that was me. Or even like just all of it in general, I'm like, no. Yeah, I'm glad where I'm at now, and I seen how far I progressed as an artist. And be like, this is where I used to be, this is where I am now, and this is where I'm trying to go at in the future. So that's what a lot of people don't really try to realize. Listen to yourself before you try to critique somebody else. You need to critique yourself because you're your own biggest critic.
Right. I know I am with my pictures because, like, I have people tell me, oh my God, Lisa, your pictures are so great. Like the pictures that I took at Summer Jam. When right before Monica got on stage, they kicked us all out because the fire marshal came in, and because they had let anybody who had a VIP wristband to get in the pit where the photographers were, and it was cramming me and I almost got into a fight with this girl. I don't do that. I'm too old for that shit, but she was pissing me off. So they kicked everybody out, and I was like, I'm here working for 92Q Jam, who was throwing this damn show. So the guy that was in charge, he was like the two photographers was like, he was like, I'm sorry, they only let me in here. And I was like, all right. So I'm on the corner of the stage trying to get these pictures of Monica and trying to get these pictures of Rick Ross, and I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, oh, these pictures suck ass, like they suck. But when I post them, everybody's like, oh my God, these pictures are so good. I'm like, what the hell do you see? Like, I'm like, with your music, that's the way I am with my pictures. Is, you know, I'm going to put this out, and it's my name. So when you put a song out, and that's you. So you don't want somebody to be like, oh, that sucked, you know. So you are your own worst critic, you know. So you know, it's 7 o'clock, and I'm just so proud. All y'all came on time. I wasn't sitting in here looking crazy. I just love it. Give everybody your information where they can find you, find your music, listen to your music, get your projects, download some music, something.
I mean, you can find me on Audio Max, search up Iambition, IAMBITION. You can find me on SoundCloud, you know, look up Iambition, IAMBITION. You can also catch me on Dat Piff. Throw a lot of mixtapes on Dat Piff.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram.
I have mixtapes on Dat Piff.
Yeah, you can find me on Dat Piff. Instagram, ASAP_Iambition. Twitter, Iambition. I mean, you'll find me the first and only Iambition.
You could probably just Google Iambition.
Yep, I'll pop up on Google. I'm the first person to pop up.
Right. So, I thank you for coming. Hopefully, I'll be able to see you actually perform the next time you perform. I know Hood was talking about revamping some things before the next Blaze the Stage and whatnot. Do you have any shows or anything that you have coming up, or?
I'm trying to build this show up. I don't even know if we're gonna set it up yet. Like, I want to get myself where I got these songs out, and I'm trying to build like a listening party and then performing my listening party.
Oh, okay.
Because I actually got a mixtape coming up, which I got it tatted on me, because it's like a big meaning to it. It's Royal Bloodline.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why I say Royal Bloodline is just like black women and men are kings and queens.
They are.
So I see it as, all right, I'm a king, Royal Bloodline, and I'm putting a prelude to the mixtape. It's actually going to be called, actually my brother gave me a name for it. It's going to be called The Coronation.
Oh, well, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I love concepts. Like I said, I'm the type of person that I love concepts. I love when somebody tells me, well, you know, it's called this and the songs mean this, that, and everything kind of just blends together. That's why I said I love storytelling. So definitely probably will. I always like have a chance to get, you know, bring other people back on, you know, back on the show. Like I said, at the end of August, we're moving out of this building into our new building on St. Paul Street. So definitely, it was a pleasure meeting you. Pleasure listening to your music. Like I said, I hope I get a chance to be able to see you live on stage and be able to take pictures of you. That way you can have the Baltimore Paparazzi logo in the corner.
That sounds dope. That sounds
right. It's all about networking. So I'm going to play a song and come back, and I have Poverty Entertainment. Because I was told Chopper. That's what I was told. But then when I got the email, I was like, no, it's Poverty Entertainment. I was like, oh, okay. All right. So, yeah. I'm going to listen to a song, come back, and we're talking about Poverty Entertainment. In the Spotlight, Baltimore Paparazzi. Still got this headache, yo. Thank you. You leaving out? You sticking around, or?
About to leave out.
All right, we let you out. You guys, woo! What the hell? Talk to you. Everybody plays. I've been there for an hour. Headache from hell. I got a headache. You just want to go the fuck away. I ain't had one of these in a long time. Facebook Live on there, YouTube, my Paparazzi YouTube streaming live right there. And he don't give a fuck. Y'all know that's Baltimore Big Steve, Fat Boy Deezy. That's Baltimore to Louisiana, Louisiana to Baltimore. I can never get that shit straight. I actually shot the video for that song. I don't shoot videos. we were in Houston back in February, and they was like, we're gonna shoot a video. I was like, oh cool, who shoot a video? They was like, you are. Me? I thought I was just here for taking pictures. That's what I do. But I actually I shot the video, and then they had somebody edit the shit. So it turned out really good. It's got like over 1,200 views on. Yeah, 1,200 views on it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is, because I never expected, you know. But Steve actually, they have a following. I was, the reason why I wasn't at the show to see y'all perform was because, and take pictures, because I was in Houston and New Orleans that weekend. Yeah, so.
That's another interest to him.
Yeah, Hood is he's a mess. I love him. He scares me sometimes, even though I'm older than he is.
Hey, cool. I just met her. At that show.
Really?
Yeah, that was the first time we meeting her.
Let me tell you, Hood will not steer you wrong. If he tells you something, believe him. That's all I can tell you. He will not steer you wrong. I think he's still in Canada. I'm not sure if he's still in Canada or not. He went up there to do the was it Uvu? Uvu?
What's that?
The concert that they have up there, the one at Drake up in Toronto.
I never heard of that.
Yeah. Remember when Drake was going at Meek Mill's and he was in concert and had the memes and stuff up?
Right.
That was the Uvu, the big Uvu thing, almost like the Essence Festival they had in New Orleans. It was something like that. But yeah, he was up there. He was performing up there. He was the only Baltimore rapper. Yeah, Hood's made a lot. I met Hood at an open mic at 5 Seasons, and we just kind of clicked. And I mean, he hired me to do his mom's birthday party.
Right.
So I took pictures at his mom's birthday party. You know, I know his wife. Like, he's like family. Like, I will never tell him if I'm going through something, because I don't want him coming through. Because he is a mad black Sicilian. And
yeah, he seemed cool. First time
he is. Don't piss him off.
The first time I met him, he made a joke about my shoes. It was a good joke, though. He said he hated me because of my shoes.
It is funny as shit.
Yeah.
So, you guys are Poverty Entertainment?
Yes, man.
That's a very unique name.
Yeah.
So who is everybody?
I'm Chapman, man.
So, see, kids will be on.
How y'all come up with these names, yo? I always wonder that. Like, I mean, I know how I got the B.O.M.B Paparazzi name. You know, somebody gave me that.
Right.
And, you know, but I always wonder how people come up with their stage names. Some of them, I think, comes from, like, somebody gave them that name, started calling them that name.
It comes from poverty.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, running around the neighborhood. That's where some of the names come from.
Right.
You know, you might try to change it a little bit, but that's it.
I believe it. I believe it. Like I said, I used to live on Poplar Grove for like almost 7 years. I lived on Poplar Grove in Winchester for 7 years. The only white face around there. Had to go up against drug dealers. My final breaking point was when I had to almost stab somebody in front of the police, and they didn't do anything. They were just waiting for me to stab the boy because they couldn't stand his ass. I told the boy, I said, I'm gonna stab you right where you got shot, and I'm gonna watch you bleed the fuck out, and I'm gonna go over here and hand this police officer this butcher knife and go, here you go. I said, I will not serve one day in motherfucking jail, because why? I'm crazy. I got papers saying I'm crazy. Something's wrong in my head. I'm not going to jail, and you gonna be dead.
I'm going to Shepherd Prayer. I'll be home to you.
It might be a little bit longer. I might be there for a few months, because I might like the Jello. But yeah, believe me, I know. Like I said, I'm not from Baltimore, but I've lived here since 2003. I've been coming here since 2000. And yeah, a lot of the kids around the neighborhood, I'd be like, what the hell? I call my son hates it, but I call my son Bubby. I call him Bubby. That's been his name since he was born. His father calls him Butter. I don't know where the fuck that came from. My daughter, she doesn't have a nickname. I just call her name is Cashmere, and I just call her Cash. That's what I've always called her. Like, they started calling her Cash Money, and you know, because we were little Cash Money, you know. And I was like, She just cashed me.
But it's great when you know you take a nickname and make something creative out of it.
Yeah, but what I've also seen in the music scene is this. Your name is Chopper Man?
Yeah.
Okay, Chopper Man. I know I've heard Chopper so many times. You know, and I'm just like, yo, which one are you talking about?
Right.
You know, I was like,
Right.
who are you talking about?
Right.
Which one? And you know, and it comes.
The intelligent one.
Right. the smart one.
The smart one.
So, you know, like there was a issue with the name Lano. There was 2 Lanos.
Okay.
I was like, I only know one Lano. And then I found out who the other Lano was. I was like, oh, that's Lano. I don't know who you are. So, you know, I found like in this, you know, this music scene is huge.
Right.
In Baltimore, even though Baltimore is big, it's still a small city because we are all 6 degrees of separation. Because I'm sure if we talk long enough, there'd be somebody that you know that I know.
Right.
Be like, because that's why you can't talk about people.
Right.
Because if you talk about somebody, be like, yo, that's my baby sister's, baby father's sister's cousin, nephew. What? Yeah.
That's how I go. That's how I go.
So, how long have you guys, I guess, each individually been like doing music? Like, how long is it? Like the day that you was like, this is what I'm gonna do. I can do this.
Well, 2 members that are not here, Raps and Easy, you know, they have a little bit under the weather, a little bit of problems.
Yeah.
But me personally, we just started really taking it serious like 2 years ago. But I've been rapping probably since I was like 17.
Yeah.
I'm 32 now.
You're 32? Get the hell out. You're not 32. He's lying, y'all. Does he look? He don't look 32 to me. I'm 46. I'm getting ready to be 47.
I don't lie about my age.
Me either.
For me, it's basically the same thing. Like, we rapping together back 17, 16, 15,
Yeah.
14.
Mind you, we done known each other like 20-something plus years. This is the same circle that I've been running with. Like
And you know what? And I've come across that a lot, especially like in recent years.
Really?
Yeah, like people be like, oh, like I talk about my ex. My ex he's actually an artist, and him and his two partners in his group, they're brothers. They've known each other since they was in like probably middle school, high school,
Right.
you know, and they in their 30s now. So, you know, and yeah, they know they cool with other people, but they're their main core,
Right.
and that, you know, that's all there is to it. What about you?
Well, I actually started when I was like 20. He actually got me started rapping.
How old are you?
I'm 30 now.
Oh damn! See, y'all don't look none. See, I don't know what it is.
I'm 30 now. He actually got me started rapping when I was like 20.
Yeah, we put him in the booth on his birthday.
Yeah.
Were you drunk and high on your birthday? That's the best time, isn't it?
Yeah, and it felt amazing. I was like, you know what?
You were like, damn, I can do this.
Oh, you see the confidence then.
Right. Right. So, I don't call these interviews. They're just conversations. I don't. Tired of writing the damn questions. Point where we just have conversations, laugh, talk about whatever, go off track, come back around.
Right.
So as like when you came in, I was talking to Iambition. I won't call him ambitious. It's Ambition. I screwed his name all the way up.
God, sir, dude.
He's 20 years old.
Oh, really?
And he has got the mindset of somebody who's been in this music business for years, and it's just so refreshing to hear somebody, like, certain things he was saying, because, like, I don't, you know, for so many years I've been banging my head up against the wall trying to help artists. You know, I don't by any means I'm not a expert, but I pay attention. And as I was telling him, you all as artists are a commodity. So you have to market and advertise yourself, which means you market and advertise yourself by putting your music out there, doing videos, doing shows. That's how you market and advertise yourself. And a lot of people weren't understanding that. And I'm like, you have to.
You're not understanding.
You know, you're a
yourself.
business.
Yeah.
You're a business.
Yeah.
Point
You're
like
a business
period.
when you're born.
Right. True. True.
Yeah,
They give you a social security number. Be like, yeah, right
There you
here.
go.
Yeah, you're going to use this so we can have some money.
Exactly.
But so who was like what was the very, I'm not gonna say the very first hip hop song, but what was that song that when you first heard it you were like, I can do this too?
Oh man,
I know it had to be somebody or some song that, you know, like you heard, you know,
man.
you know.
That was a long time ago too.
You got me thinking now.
It was a lot of them.
Yeah, you just can't put like.
But give me a second.
It's a tough question.
That 50 Cent joint. When he jacking the beats.
Beats.
Yeah.
And redoing them,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And then like every, you know, 50 is he's an asshole. Like he pisses me off to no end, but he is such a smart man. I mean, I never watched Power. I just, you know, my kids watch Empire. Well, hold on. Let me finish. I never watched Power. I watched a couple episodes of Empire because my kids watched it. And I was like, this is a nighttime black soap opera. This is bullshit. So, on our way back from New Orleans on Sunday, I was driving the car. And Steve was in the passenger side, the one that was just in that song. He was in the passenger seat. And he was like, oh, Power's on. And he has the app. Right. So he's got the phone on the dash that we're supposed to be using GPS. And we're watching Power. And this is my first episode ever seeing of Power. Do you know I've binge watched Power, and I was all the way caught up, and I'm watching the episodes now. Because, like, 50 Cent, I know he's the one behind it. He's not the one who writes the things. Right. But he is a very, a significant part of that writing. And I'm just like, oh, this is actually a good show. Last week's episode, hooked on it, and like I said, 50 Cent he can play a character. He can write music, you know, he can rap. He's a businessman to no end. And I don't know, what are they putting in the water in New York? Because look at Jay-Z. You know, Jay-Z is another one. Like I talked to the young man before about how Jay-Z has been relevant for all these years and didn't have to put out that project he just put out.
Yeah, but you know, once you stand, this is up to you whether you want to turn up the heat or not.
Right.
Once you stand, it's up to you to keep that name going or not. You know, some people fall back, and some people like, yeah, I'm gonna come back.
I mean,
I'm still relevant. Like it's nothing. You still can do nothing with me.
Right, and it's like, you know, I'm talking about the hip hop scene. I've been in the Baltimore hip hop scene. I came in 2006. That was my first introduction to it. Before that, I don't know where I thought these artists came from, but the only artist that I knew of was who I heard on 92Q, and at that time back in the day was Boss Man, Mully Man, Hooli Shalom, Scar Akbar. I knew who Comp was, Paula Campbell, Tim Trees, the ones that they played on the radio. When my friend B.O.M.B reached out to me on MySpace, this is how long ago it was, MySpace, and from him I got to see that there was this whole big scene, and it's gotten bigger. That's why I keep saying it. You cannot throw a rock in this city and not hit somebody who raps. They may not rap well, but they're rapping, and they're putting out projects and doing YouTube videos, and
that's why it's hard to get fans.
Right.
That's why it's hard to get somebody to listen to your music because they started making their music.
Well, not only that, they've done heard all these whack ass rappers, and when you say, you know, I'm an artist, I rap, and they're like, oh, not another one. Right. You know, because it's almost like, it's sad to say, because I said this, I was driving today, and there was like somebody on every single corner, on every light, panhandling, wanting change. I feel bad for y'all, but if I keep giving y'all money, I'm gonna be right where you are. I'm pretty close to where you all are right now. You know,
yeah, the struggle is real.
Yeah, it really is. So you know, the same thing with these, with the been around them, good music, everything. I started going to these other shows, going outside of my quote unquote circle, and I'm like, who the hell is this? But in that who the hell is this moment, I'm also music.
Yeah, it's watered down now.
You know, so you know, that's like I said, with Hood doing these Blaze the Stage shows, I'm getting to see artists that I have nothing to know, I didn't know anything about. And that's why I was upset that I didn't get to go to the show, because there was a lot of people on that I've never seen before. Because that's what Hood tries to do. He tries to get newer faces on the show. We used to I used to throw a show called In the Spotlight.
Right.
It's a showcase of paying for the night. You know, the owner of the club, I didn't have to pay him nothing. He gave it to me for free because I was making him money at the bar.
Right. Well,
So, oh my God, because artists, the way I did it was I gave you guys 15 tickets, right? That's $10 a pop. That's $150, right? I only want $75. You keep the other 75. You either sell the tickets. You can just give me $75 and give the tickets out. You can do whatever you want, as long as I get my $75. That's all I care about, because I gotta pay my DJ who comes from Westminster. They sure do ask me to do shit for free, but the artists, they couldn't give me my $75. But you on stage rapping about how you got money, how you got this and you got that, but you can't give me my damn $75.
Right.
What?
Right.
I'm not understanding this concept.
You can put this in your head.
Okay. I put it in my car.
That is real rap right there.
I put it in my car because
That's
I have
not
a
mumble rap right there.
I can't. I told you I can't.
Put together.
One of the guys that I was talking to at one time, he was doing my shows, and I said I don't want to date no more fucking rappers, and they just kept coming at me. I don't know why. I guess because it's like when you working all the time, so you're gonna end up dating somebody who you work with because that's the only people that you see.
That's how the game goes.
You know.
That's how they try to make it seem.
So him,
like that sometimes.
it does. You know, you don't plan on it. Anyway, so I was one of the guys I was dealing with. He fucking bipolar or something, and because the last straw was we started late as usual because nobody was on time. So everything I got dreads that was at the show working with Hood.
Okay, yeah.
Unknown was coming to the shows because he was trying to get familiar with artists. This was right before I stopped working and gave my night to them. Him and Hood they started to become my partners. Because so Unknown got dreads, and Unknown was Dexter the whole time, and I used to kid around and say that he was my MCM. You know, it's my MCM, it's my NCM. So him and his boys thought that I was sleeping with Unknown, and thought that that Unknown had something. Drama, and it was giving me too much of a fucking headache. So that's why we started with the Blaze the Stage shows. And Hood brought in people I had never seen before, and I was like, yo, where the fuck have these people been at? Like, where have they been at?
You can go on anything now, and I can bet you, I can tell you, like, none of the people on there I know. None of them on there.
Yep, because I started going outside of my circle.
And on SoundCloud. You go on SoundCloud and see all types of different people.
Yeah, and you be like, well, who that? A few months ago, there was a couple guys who were rappers who were beefing down like Monument or something. And one of my nieces was like, I was like, who the fuck are these people? She's like, Auntie, I know. You know, so-and-so. I'm like, who the fuck is that?
Right.
Baltimore rapper. Who are you talking about?
Right.
Like Little Scooter. The only reason why I knew who Little Scooter was you know, God rest his soul, was because my man Maniac Dre did a diss song to him. You know.
Yeah, I heard that too.
I'm gonna tell you,
I heard that too.
that was my favorite song. We were in this. Right, you know, I mean, he was actually trying to do some good in jealousy and hatred and whatever else, the street shit. People just, they I don't understand it. You know, nobody killed anybody. So, you know, we you know, people been upholding, you know, Erica. She was going out and she was talking to these. We're going to do this. You know, nobody from our crew was going to do anything. We just going to chill, you know. And everybody's like, well, what about after Sunday? I'm like, yo, one step at a time, please. Like, yo, you all see the body cam footage?
Yeah, when the police was planting drugs.
Yeah, did you see the other one where they searched the car? They searched the car. Exactly. That's why
they put the cameras up.
That's why the police officers. I was friends with. You know, I got friends who are police officers, and you know, one of them, like, he does his job. Like, when they were actually to get the numbers by any means necessary. That shit was really going on here.
It was.
And my friend was like, I'm not violating anybody's civil rights, because as soon as I do, and something happens to me. He was a knocker. I had to get on him. I watched him clothesline my cousin in front of my house. I was in the window. My husband, you know, when he was alive, we were upstairs, and I heard something going on outside, and I looked out, and I seen when he clotheslined white boy, and I was like, I looked at him. I couldn't believe he did this in front of everybody.
Yeah.
I called him the next day. I was like, yo, why did you didn't have to do that? He was like, I told him to sit down. I was like, you didn't have to hit him like that. I said, you're going to get in trouble. Well, I mean, when you're living in poverty,
exactly.
when you're living below the poverty levels,
right.
And you can't get a job. You know, it took me 5 years to get a part-time job. 5 years.
But that's when your animals kick in.
Cell phones. I made CDs for people, mixtapes. You know, mixed CDs. You give me a list of music, and I put them on the CD.
You just popping them.
And you know, yeah, I was making like 500. I was making like 500 a month.
I probably came to holler at you.
But you know, you do what you have to do. And as far as like drugs, I know people who were dealing drugs because they couldn't get jobs, and they had to put food on the table, and they had to take care of them. Right. It wasn't because they wanted to buy a new pair of damn tennis shoes.
Right.
Right.
You know, but you gotta have money to get that job.
Right.
People, we need money now, today, like that hour. Like, I'm not gonna go out here and get a job and they gotta pay me that day. You get what I'm saying? Like,
right.
If you need food that day, you have to do something to get food that day.
Right, and it's like, I was going, you know, telling people about like, people want to blame City Hall for the kids being wild like they are. They want to blame parents. They want to blame the police. They want to blame this. They want to blame one person, and you can't. It's everything. You know, like I was saying, like when I moved to Baltimore, and you know, my kids. I'm a single parent. You know, their father was not. He's there, but he's not. You know, I married my husband, and he was only there for a year and a half before he passed away. You know, so I'm looking at these kids that my kids are befriending, and I'm wondering why they're acting the way they are. They seem like good kids, but come to find out, their mother and their father is either deceased and control them. They want money, so then you got all of a sudden at this time, the Bloods and Crips invaded Baltimore. All of a sudden, like all of a sudden, the one day there was no Crips on my block, the next day there was, and I'm like, how the fuck that happened? Yeah, I'm like, how the fuck that happened? Like, I studied criminal justice, so I've studied had no clue he was a blood for real. He had been one for like over 20 years. It's like since he was like 10 years old. But he just never, like, he lived out in Arizona. He never flaunted it. Like, he was like, Lisa, you just thought I liked the color red or something? I was like, yeah, because all of his pictures he had on, you know, a red shirt, or his daughter was dressed in red. You're like, I like red too. I mean, but I never thought about it. So one day, there's no Crips. The next day, oh yeah, I'm a Crip. They got there doing the 10-minute handshake and and throwing up gang signs at the MTA buses as they're flying by, and
then that wasn't even right.
I was like, why? Why would you even want to do that? And then it kind of dawned on me. These kids wanted to try to fit somewhere. They wanted to fit in. You know, so, you know.
If kids don't get attention at home, they're going to find it somewhere else. So.
Right. And then, like.
It's also about being
gangs out there now.
It's also about being strong, like strength in numbers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we go outside, like we did when we was young. We go outside, I know you, I know, you know, I'm good. You know, I know I'm going to take care of myself. When I got my bros with me, I know I'm extra good.
And my thing was, like, when we first moved around there, when we first moved to Baltimore, like, it was almost like neighborhood against neighborhood. Yeah. Like, these guys up here, it's always been like that, though. You know what I mean? Like, in cities, it's always been like that. I come from a small, tiny town where there was under 400 people in the whole damn town, including the farms. You know, I come from a very small town. Like, everybody know everybody. So everybody knows all your business, and then some. But, like, it's always been like that, you know, all the way back, way back, you know, like, since the beginning of the United States, not when they was wearing powder wigs and shit, but when, you know, the immigrants were coming over and everything, they always had neighborhood against neighborhood. So that's how it was around there. Like, everybody on Riggs didn't fuck with everybody on Mosier, you know, and they would be beefing, or then they wouldn't fuck with the down on Belmont, and, you know, I'm like, why? I'm like, why?
Some of the reasons didn't even know why.
Right, it's just the way it was. So, what I used to do was making my ringtones, you know, they would come up there and I'd be like, yo, you need to listen to local music. Because I was doing ringtones. I hate Little Boosie. I'm sorry, but I hate his ass. His voice, he might have the best. My daughter's like, he got, but his songs, I'm like, I understand that, but maybe somebody else needs to rap those lyrics for me. I was doing so many Little Boosie, Lil Webby, like Wayne. You know what I mean? When you hear Boosie, you know that's Boosie. Yeah. That's all there is to it. So I was doing all that, and I was like, you need to listen to local music. This is when I started, you know, getting into local music. And they were like, who? Boss Man, Money Man, they suck. The ones on the radio, they suck. No, there's so many other ones. So fast forward to when I was doing my shows, and I had somebody hit me up about doing a show, and he was like, well, can you meet me at Mondawmin at the Burger King, and I'll get the tickets from you and everything. And I was like, all right. So I went up there, and I sat down, and he looked at me. He was like, do you still ringtones up on Poplar Road? I said, yeah. He's like, I used to get instrumentals from you. And then he started doing my shows, like he was rapping and stuff. So I at least touched at least one person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
sometimes that's all it takes.
You know, it's hard. It's when like now, when Lil Scooter came out and Young Moose came out, I was like, who the hell are they? Right. You know, I'd never seen them at the shows that I had been a part of. Right. But because they were young, of course they were getting the young fans. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So, and I've been telling people for years, that's where you get your money from, because they're going to get money from somebody to go buy your CD if they fuck with you. Right. But they can't come to our shows because they're not all age shows. It's always 18 or 21 and over. Right. So I've been telling people for years to do that. And the only young rapper I knew about was Lil Key. The one that just did the rap game show with
Brown Skin Dude, right?
Yeah, with the arm.
Okay, yeah, I know.
But he did the show. What is Jermaine Dupri? Can never think of his little. But he's got the show called The Rap Game where he brings local artists, and then he had another artist from here in Baltimore named Deantra. She's actually really good. Y'all need to check her out. She was actually one of the groups here called Team Cremate, who I kind of push to and support. they had her on one of their songs on their last project. She's really, really good. I've seen her perform, and that's my test. You can get in the booth and say do whatever, but when you get on that stage, you know.
Something else different.
So I'm sorry, I'm going
I
on.
like that film.
You know, I'm going on and on and on. But I told you I just go all the way around, but I always come back around to music. But there's like I said, I'm naming people, and y'all sitting there just looking at me like, who the hell is that?
Yeah, because some of the people is like, who?
Yeah, because like I said,
it's kind of hard to listen to everybody.
It's kind of hard to know that because there's like I said, you will hear music from somebody and you be like, I never heard of them before.
Right. And
me being the person that I am, going to shows, taking pictures, and trying to be a part of the scene, it's really hard because now I've seen that it's a transition now. They're not doing shows anymore, really. They're doing more YouTube videos and putting their music on the internet and going from there and not really being a presence. And then what I'm finding now is when they do all that, when they do a show, they might as well just hand me their CD because they're rapping over their CD and I can't hear them. I hear the CD. So just hand me the CD. And they're holding the mic out here. Your voice is not going to, you have to hold it up to here. You know what I mean? So nobody is teaching them that. And it's, to me, it's so, we're so oversaturated right now with music, with artists. And, you know, it's like I said, when he hit me up and he was like, okay, I got Chopper for 7 to 8 on the 5th. And I was like, who? Okay. Yeah. All right. So, because he came up to my house and he was like, all right, I'm going to give you these names and times and dates I gave. I was like, all right. And I'm starting right. And I'm right. And I'm like, what's his name?
Yeah, because I waited for a minute. I didn't know if he was going to call me back or what the case may be.
Well, see, and it's like the way I do it is, if I was there at the show, you would have came over to me at the table, told me the name, and gave me the email address, and I would ask you, do you want to schedule your interview now, or do you want to wait until I send you the pictures? Some people be like, well, let me wait because I don't know what my schedule looks like or whatever. Be like, cool. So if that was the case, then I would give you your 10 photos in your email and say, we need to schedule, you know, for the interview in the spotlight interview, blah 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 blah. Now, if we went ahead and scheduled it, then when you got your pictures, you got the email saying, okay, your interview is August the 5th from 7 to 8. The address is 2223 Maryland Avenue, around the corner, 23rd. You know, at the Eleanor. You know, I give everybody their details right then and there, and then try to do it like a couple days before. And give a reminder email because I forget shit all the time. So I started doing reminder emails, be like, I'm just reminding you that you have an interview and da da da. You know, it was
definitely cool.
You know, so since I was 3, shut up. But so you guys say you really didn't start taking the music seriously until like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know what changed? I mean, what changed your mind?
We got talent. We got really, I mean, we got a different sound. We got a real different sound.
Do you sound like Baltimore?
Not really. Not really. I sound like
you sound like the average Baltimore rapper. That you really hear.
What is it? But my thing is like, what's to me an average Baltimore rapper sounds like he's trying to be from down south or up New York.
No,
you know what I mean?
I don't know, not really. I believe now in days it's getting straight to the point. It's just about rhyming and like nursery rhyming and wordplay now. It's the metaphors and
we're getting back to that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everything else is not around yet. That's what we're getting. The metaphors, the rhymes, the bars.
See, and that's and the reason why I know this is true is because you were on Blaze's stage. Because Hood is not going to put anybody on that stage that he does not believe in and he doesn't like their music. You know what I mean? I'm stuck. I'm sorry, I'm stuck in the 90s. You know what I mean? I'm stuck in the 90s. I want you to tell me a story.
I'm 80s, baby.
You know, I want you to, huh? Bye. Is Plex coming in? So you just want me to shut everything down, or? And just leave the door unlocked? Is Cabo coming? Is Cabo coming?
I'm not sure.
Well, I don't want to lock the door. Does he have a key? Lock it.
I'll come back when I need to.
All right. That's why I have another reason why I have a headache. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm stuck. I like people telling me stories, and I love J. Cole for one, because he'll say this, but he means that.
Right.
And so he says it, and then it like hits you a minute later, be like, oh shit, he meant,
right.
Oh
right.
Damn.
Right. I like music like that. When you go, you gotta rewind it. You gotta rewind it.
Right.
You gotta listen back to it again, just to get the bars.
Right. And like, you know, and like, I didn't like Kevin Gates for the longest time, because I was just like, I heard a song and I was like, I was so confused. Like, it was just like words, and I was like, so my daughter and my son, every time we would be in the car, they basically force-fed Kevin Gates down my throat.
I mean, I was like Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates, I'm more of a Kendrick Lamar fan.
See, and I like Kendrick too. Kendrick is one of those people. See, it's like everybody that I like musically, they're not on the radio. And why are they not on the radio? Because they speak about real things. They speak the truth. Like, I got a chance to meet David Banner down in New Orleans. I was shocked because we were going to New Orleans, and there's a record shop down there called Peaches. And Peaches, she's the one who helped No Limit and Cash Money get as popular. She was selling their CDs in her store and helping them get the sound, the little sound X thing, whatever they are, the little scans.
Right.
She was helping them do that, you know what I mean? And she helps other artists as well to this day. And so we were going there anyway. So I'm on Instagram. We sitting in Houston, and I'm on Instagram, and I'm like, yo, Steve, David Banner's going to be at Peaches today from 12 to 4? He was like, well, let's hope we get there by 4 o'clock. I said, oh, we getting there by 4 o'clock. We getting there.
David Banner.
I already have the God box on my phone, but I bought a hard copy so he could sign it and I could meet him. And right before, the girl that was right in front of me and he was talking to her, in walks Raheem DeVaughn. So I said I had to go all the way to New Orleans to meet Raheem when he lives like 45 minutes down the road. But I got pictures with both of them. David Banner had the biggest smile on his face because I was the only white face in there at the time. I'm always the only white face anywhere. It's just crazy to me. I mean, I'm perfectly fine. I lived in an all-black town for like 3-4 years. I'm cool with that. My kids are biracial, but
all human.
Right, and that's why I said earlier, I don't see color. I have a problem. I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that because I was judged by my color because of an incident, and I did not like it at all because it was people who were supposed to be my friends. And I shared a meme and had the N word in it, and they basically said because I shared it, I said it. I was like, I don't say the fucking word. I beg people, can you please make a song without the word in it so I can sing the song too? Because it's hard for me. Like, I don't say, and everybody's like, oh, Lisa, you can say it. No, I can't.
It's been used so much, it should not even have really no meaning.
But there's certain people that just want to hold on to that. So I let them do whatever they want to do. And just, you go down.
Some people hold on to it just to have a reason to hold on to it.
Right.
Just to start anything going.
So, you know, it's artists that I like that don't get the airplay because they make music their way.
Right.
And I think that's one reason, like, Baltimore makes music their way.
Right.
You know, underground artists make music their way. And that's what makes it hard for them to get meetings with A&Rs at you know, now I don't think, because I talked about deals and stuff earlier with the other artists, and I said, you know, if anybody gets a deal, at least get just a distribution deal.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Same shit.
Exactly.
Same things outside.
Exactly. That's exactly how I mean.
Right, a distribution
We don't
deal.
want to get signed.
Yeah, because who wants to get signed, and then you have to give up your rights to your music.
Right. Exactly.
You got to give up the kind of music. No, you got to make this music. You got to make this.
Control.
Right.
And I'm trying to work on distributing our own music too.
And I was telling him, like, now, like, you guys got it so easy now. Because back in like 2007, 2008, it was hard to get your music on freaking YouTube. It was hard to get your music on the internet. It was hard. Like, it was almost impossible to do it unless you paid to have that done. Now, it's nothing for y'all to get.
But more people hit the streets back then.
Right, and that's why UGK, that's why, you know, Cash Money, that's why No Limit, they sold, you know, thousands and thousands of copies out of the trunks of cars. You know, and
getting familiar with your fans.
You know, and
not behind the screen.
Now it's easier for you all to upload your music. And like, I was just looking into because what we found down in Houston when the girl that was with us, the single song with Baltimore, Big Steve and Fat Boy Deezy, they have a song with Chopper from down in New Orleans, Chopper Style from No Limit. Yeah. They have a song with him, and it's their single that they were pushing. And she's trying to hand it to people, and they be like, "Oh, I don't have a CD player. Oh, I don't have a CD player. Oh, I don't have a CD player." So when she came back, she was like, "Well, they're saying I don't have a CD player." Steve looks at her and goes, "Ask him, don't you have an Xbox or a PlayStation?" I was like, "Oh," but I've come to, you know. But flash drive and selling it, you know, or if you want to, you know, you can get, you know, I'm really looking into all this stuff because I'm getting ready to be the go-to person to get this shit done, you know, because
it's definitely a whole new market world opened up.
Right. And we had records. You know, we had 8-tracks, and well, records and 8-tracks would go hand in hand. And then we went to cassettes, and then went to these CDs. I was like, "What the hell is a CD?" It took me the longest time. I was like, "It was a tape on there." Or if it came, or I've taken so many of them things apart and wound it back up. But then it came to CDs. And then, like I said, came the MP3 players and like, right? And that's like, and that kind of goes like along with like, I understand the progression of music, and this is what I have said time and time again. And a lot of people, when I brought it to their attention, be like, right, you know how there's rock and roll, there's rock. But from rock, you got grunge rock, heavy metal, you got death metal, you got all these different forms of rock music. Hip hop, for the longest time, was just hip hop. Yeah. That's all we got. Hip hop. Everything was under hip hop. Right. And you're like, that's not hip hop. That, you know, that's not what we started out with. Right. Music does progress, and I understand that. We got hip hop. Well, now we got mumble rap. Yeah. Then we got the conscious rap. We actually do have different genres we've got different genres of hip hop, but people aren't using those labels. They're just calling it all hip hop. So then you get into an argument with somebody, be like, that's not hip hop. Right. You know, that's not like LL Cool J and KRS-One and you know, and we're like, you know, I don't listen to Lil Yachty and Lil Uzi and all that.
I can't listen to them. I can't listen to Designer.
I think Designer is actually mentally challenged. I really do.
I'm not the only one. Thank you. I try to have this debate, but people just try to say that this man has serious bars, and I'm sitting here like,
Timmy Turner is a serious bar?
Thank you. Thank you.
Timmy Turner, something about a burner. I don't like. I'm just like, I'm confused.
That was his freshman freestyle, and then he made it into a song.
I believe he's a puppet for somebody. I don't know.
He's a puppet.
I can't understand.
Lil Yachty is a puppet. How the hell did Lil Yachty get a Sprite commercial?
Right. I have no idea.
My thing is, I hear music, like I'm hearing this stuff they call mumble rap or whatever, and like everybody's just rocking that in the clubs and all, and I'm just looking at them. They're like, "You don't know the song?" Hell no, I don't know this shit. And I'm like, it's got a good beat. But what the hell is he saying? They don't know because they're just listening to the beat.
Exactly. That's all people do now. There was one
point in time where you could just hear hip hop rolling down the street, blasting out of people's cars for real. Now I can't tell what I'm listening to off the car. I don't know.
It's like that old static TV.
like I said, my son plays all kinds of music, and he gets on my nerves because he's got a Bluetooth speaker, and he'll have the Bluetooth speaker in his pocket, and he'll be walking around the house, and I'll be like, will you turn that shit off? I'm trying to watch TV. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, he's like, oh, Mom, this is, I'm like, no. You can't just rhyme words for me.
Yeah, I don't like where they're taking it, but some of the artistry, I mean, some of it is creative for real.
Right.
I mean, some people are creative. I don't really like to
Game
deal
always
with
gonna change. Game always gonna change.
You know,
Right.
I mean,
Well, she didn't want this way.
yeah, I think it's been the wrong time.
We're definitely not gonna follow that way.
And that's what I said. Like, I said this before about Hood. Hood and I became friends because I was at we were at a open mic together at 5 Seasons years ago, and I didn't know who he was. He didn't know who I was, and we became friends and we worked together. And like I said, he's like family to me now, and I don't want to ever tell him that I'm going through something because I don't want him coming through. Because, like I said, I know how he is. But I know that anybody he puts on his show, I can expect to be like, damn, the fuck y'all been? That's my thing. Like, that's my thing. Well, where y'all been? I needed this.
You come zone 15.
Oh Lord, Park Heights.
Already.
Park Heights. Oh my Jesus.
That's where our roots is at. You know. So.
I had
two members that are here. They are from the 15 too. So.
But you know what? I can say this. I've come across quite a few people from Park Heights that are very music. You know, like the music is just, you can't deny it.
Right.
You know.
Right. I've heard some too. You ever heard of a guy named Stan Green?
No.
Awesome.
See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many people that's doing music now, and it's like it's just so hard for me to, you know, if people can send me music, and it's just hard for me to listen to. I don't listen to music in my car.
Right.
So if I'm not driving, like I didn't drive for a long time, like from October up until I just got my other car in June. Yeah, because I had to park my truck. I had surgery on my shoulder, and I'm still under doctor's care for it. But I had to park my truck, and then my truck needed to be fixed anyway, so I was parking it.
So no music.
So only time I listened was like if I was in my daughter's car, and I drove, but I didn't go anywhere because every time I drove my daughter's car, somebody was asking me, "Well, when are you gonna be back?" So I got another car in June. So now every time I'm driving, I got my phone plugged up and I'm listening to music. But it's so hard to get to know every single artist that's in the city. Right. And like I said, then you got to weed through the ones that, you know, I don't like. If I want to listen to Lil Wayne, then I'll go listen to Lil Wayne. I don't want to listen to somebody who sounds like Lil Wayne.
Right.
You know, I can't get past the Amigos vibe. I just can't get past it. They might put out a couple good songs. I don't know. I if I hear it in the club, that's one thing.
That's the same way I feel about the situation for real.
Sometimes
I listen to music that I can relate to. Like I can't listen to all this crazy stuff.
Sometimes you have to do little things here and little things there just to grab people's attention though.
Right.
Because that's what they're used to. That's what they're already listening to. So it's like, you know, you kind of got to touch that side a little bit. Not too much.
You know, and it's just like I keep losing my train of thought because this headache, this is for real. Like it's like right here, it won't go away. I lost my train of thought earlier and never did come back to it. But what I was saying about like it is like that's what people are listening to.
Yeah,
and I understand that. I'm going to continue to listen to, you know, like I keep saying every day, when the hell Gates getting out? Gates coming out soon, right? Because they're going to let him loose because that law that they have in there in Illinois, they getting ready, they got overcrowding and shit. He getting out soon? Because I need some new music. And then like everybody's like, oh, did you see? Like, because Drika his wife had she released like 2 songs within the past few months. I was like, been on those. I need new projects.
I do listen to some local artists. Don't get me wrong, like FMG Ball, like the guy Stan Green. I don't know the other group name. What's that song that they got out? The Money Dance. That's so. Miso, something like that. I don't even know their name. Sorry about that.
I don't know.
Yeah, they got the money dance song.
At Summer Jam, my the founder of Hard Body Radio was in here, and he every time he's in here, he always talks about the Creek Boys.
I heard of them.
And I'm like, who the hell are they? Come to find out, D-Boy, he is an artist that I've known for a few years. He is like managing them or helping, bringing them out or whatever. And they've been on 92Q. I don't listen to 92Q. I've told Squirrel Wide that we were outside the Voice of 5'9" show years ago, and usually when Squirrel sees me and he's on stage on the mic, he was like, "Bought our Paparazzi," and I was like, "Hey." And he looked right at me at the show and didn't say anything. So we were outside in the parking lot, and I was like, he was like, "Hey, Lisa," and I was like, "Mm-mm." You looked me dead in my face and didn't say anything. He was like, "I'm sorry." He said, "But I be shouting you out on the radio." I said, "Squirrel, I don't listen to 92Q. I don't mean no harm. I don't listen to it.
Right.
I listen to it when they're playing the old school jams like at 12 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
Love Zone.
And Love Zone. Listen to, if I feel, I might listen to that too. But like, you play the same 10 songs every hour. And I know that's how they get paid and all that stuff. I understand the whole business, but I told him, I said, if you all could just like on a Friday play local artists for a couple hours. And the reasoning behind it was they didn't have their paperwork right. They didn't have that BMI or ASCAP. They didn't have their copyright. They didn't have this, that, and all. They didn't.
Because
so
they give
then,
you instructions to get on it.
Yeah, and then everybody started doing that, and still they weren't getting played. And he plays some, he played Damon Blue. Damon Blue is one of Damon Blue's songs. A couple of his, Lil Tay. He played, Lil Tay's song "iPhone Booming." My grandson loved that song. That's how I judge music. Is I play it and then my grandson dances to it. Okay, you got to hit.
I don't even know that song.
But iPhone Booming. Lil Tay is. I've known Lil Tay since he was probably about 16. He was a battle. He was a battler in a rap battle, and he was doing music. And he's really good. He's a phenomenal artist to me. In my opinion, he's a phenomenal artist, and on stage too. Like, my thing is, I'm gonna listen to your project and good music. I need to see you perform.
Right.
I want to see how you do on that stage. Whether there's 10 or 10,000, I need to see you on stage perform it.
Right.
And I've seen people perform, like I'm saying, Team Cremate. There's 4 of them now. It used to be 5. There's 4 of them. And when they are performing, they have such a good bond. They're such friends and everything, that it looks like everything's been rehearsed. Like, I don't like to see, like, if you 3 are on stage and you're rapping, but he's standing in front of you, dancing around. You're rapping. You need to be front and center. I need to be, and I hate that. And I don't like having 20 people on stage with you, because God knows you got a homeboy who drunk and high as hell.
Right.
And he's over there trying to rap the words, but he don't know the words. So my ADD is done going over here, waiting for him to do something stupid. I'm not even watching y'all perform.
We put out performances on YouTube. We got a couple performances on there, so you definitely can check it out. Power YouTube. Definitely got performances on there.
Austin,
Yeah,
Where at?
That was Austin. That was last year.
Really?
Southwest.
Did you?
Southwest.
I didn't make it this year. I'm going next
Last
year.
year. We didn't make it this year.
I'm going. Steve and Prophet.
Definitely Prophet, yeah.
Yeah, Prophet.
Yeah, that's definitely who we went with, yeah.
You went with Prof?
Yeah.
That's my favorite little white boy.
Yeah,
That's why I call my little brother. I call him my little brother. But yeah,
Pride, man.
Yeah, alrighty, shout out. Pride.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I've known Prophet. There's a place. It's called, what the hell is it called now? It's down there across from the Hippodrome. It used to be called Bedrock when we used to go there when it was a club. It's called something with an M now.
Mm-hmm.
It's a club. Anyway, it's right across the street. I forget what it is. Something, it'll come to me later. But when you go, when it used to be, I don't know how it is now, when you go in there, it's just open space and there's a big ass stage right there, and then over to your right is where the bathrooms were. This crazy little fucker gets on top of the bathrooms and jumps from the bathrooms to the stage. I missed it because I was outside running my damn mouth. He was like, yo, Lisa, you missed it. I was standing on top of the, I seen the pictures, people took pictures of it. And he was like, I was standing on top of the bathroom, and I jumped onto the stage and said, the fuck? Why?
It's all about showmanship.
And then, yeah, and Prophet has always been one of those people, like, at that time he had these shirts, it said, buy my CD. In big ass letters, buy my CD. And it was all, he already had it, he knew. It's all about marketing. And he went from being an artist to doing videos. And, you know, then he started doing videos for all these art, you know, these industry artists. Yeah. You know, and I'm proud of him.
Definitely on his grind.
You know, he's always, I'm proud of the accomplishments that he's made. And that just goes to show you that you can accomplish whatever you want. You know, he's seen that, I guess he's seen that, you know, rapping wasn't getting him any money.
Right.
But making them damn videos is going to get him some money. The lens, one of the lenses that he used when he shot the Scarface video down in Texas was my lens. Okay. That I took to him at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning because Tank called me up and was like, yo, Lise, you got a Canon, right? I was like, yeah. We need a lens. Prophet's shit got, you know, he got robbed, all his stuff, And I was like, I got a lens, but I'm not sure if it's going to fit, but where y'all at? We at the studio. I was like, all right, send me the address. Because I had never been to the studio. I got that fucking studio and I had to climb 5 flights of fucking steps. I got to the 3rd. Tank staying at the top the whole time. I got to the 3rd floor.
I feel like 10 flights. That's
Yo,
what I feel like.
I looked at him. He was up there laughing at me. I said, I fucking hate you. I got up there and the lens fit the camera perfectly. And, you know, I was like, you know, he was like, "Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you."
That video was hard too.
I love Scarface. Scarface, another one I love. But you know, this music scene is so huge, and like I said, you never know who. Like I said, I was like, you know, Prophet. Okay, yeah. You know, so it's very, very huge. You know, so besides the Blaze the Stage show, what other shows have you done? Other events?
Yeah, well, like Bro said, we did the South by Southwest.
That's big, though.
We just did the Gentleman's 10.
With who?
No, that was the biggest stage, I'm sorry. We did the Vanity Room.
Mm-hmm.
That was,
Cultural Arts Center.
Downtown Cultural Arts
So,
Center.
who was two of the shows?
The Downtown Cultural Arts Center was Rico Diego.
I heard that name.
Tony Evans.
I heard the name.
Yeah, that's the I say MGM, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did the ones at Downtown Cultural Arts Center. The ones at the Vanity Room. I believe it was that for that was for Big Gnome. Big Gnome.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
I don't know his real name, but it's Big Gnome. He used to be at the warehouse too, right there on
I remember that name. Like I said, I know names. I know names and stuff. Do you know who Billy Live in Wisdom Court?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna get you that information. He's always looking for people to do shows, and I think he still does the ticket sales where they split the ticket sales, 50-50. I think that's fair. I'm sorry, I just think it's fair because I'm doing the work and you're doing the work. You know, by selling tickets and bringing people to come watch you. And I think it's only fair that we split the ticket sales.
Right, I think that's fair too.
I'm just saying, but
you gotta invest in yourself. You gotta put them.
I don't like right now. I'm so out of touch with the different promoters. I guess you want to call them that. Right. Because it's like we don't have that many places to perform anymore. Right. When I first came in the scene, we had 5 Seasons, Sonar, Fletcher's, Bedrock. Bourbon Street. We had the Black Hole Club out in Dundalk. It was just so many different places that you could have shows and events, and there was always something going on every weekend. And you know, so it got to the point where you was like, "Oh, I need a break." there's a show on Friday, there's a show on Saturday. It was always something going on, and it was always, you would go, like I went in the Black Hole Club and Scar Akbar was in there, and Comp was in there, and No was in there, and that was like not too long after, like he was doing shit with Jim Jones and them, and they were in there. They weren't performing. They were just there. You don't see that now. When you go to a show, you don't see other artists just coming to support. When I had my shows, I had other artists come and be like, yo, at least I'm coming through. I'd be like, all right, come on through, you know. I might charge them $5. I might not charge them anything, you know, depending on how I felt that day. But, or if I felt that they were just kind of using me, you know, I'd be like, oh, $5. That's $10 off the door. It's $15 at the door.
I definitely believe showing love so you can get shown love. I mean, you know.
You never, and my whole thing is, when you're at a show and you perform, you shouldn't leave, because you never know who's going to get on that stage after you.
Right.
It might be somebody to get on stage and be like, it might be a singer that gets on stage and you need a singer for a song, or, you know, or you say, or you hear this person sing, you hear this girl singing, and be like, oh, she would be perfect for this song, and that.
Yeah, it's all about the network, man.
You know.
You definitely got a network.
But
You definitely got to keep up with your networks.
right, and that's why Wisdom Court has a thing coming up on, is it next Tuesday? I don't even know. I have to look at my calendar. Next Tuesday or Tuesday after. It's your network is your net worth.
Okay.
And that's the title of the show. And they have people performing, and you know what I mean, and it's like, and with Billy, his big thing is, if you come out and show love, and you come out and network with him, you know, he don't want people calling him up or hitting him up on Facebook or hitting him up in the email. He'd rather you show face and talk to him face to face and be like, you know. So if he sees you coming, if he sees, you know, somebody coming to the show and supporting, and he knows that they're serious about, you know, because a lot of people, they just want to go do these shows and not support.
Right.
They just want to do the show and get you know. You know, so like I said, I've trying to get the information to everybody that I come across that I know this is what they want to do. Because there's a lot of people that do this for hobby.
Well, I tell you one thing. This is the most frustrating, funnest job I've ever had in my life. I wouldn't want to do nothing else, but I love music.
Right. You know, and it's like I said, I used to push for everybody to do you know, I'd be like, I'm the cheerleader, you know.
Right.
Like I said, I'm flying the flag and I'm cheerleading, you know, and then I find out yo was not even serious about this shit. Why am I cheerleading for you and going so hard for you, and you don't even go hard for yourself? And I've made that statement before. Like I go harder for this scene than most people go for themselves. Because I support the scene as a whole.
Right.
I have my favorite artists that I support because they've shown me that love and support back for what I do. But I support the scene as a whole. That's like I said, like I told Hood when he decided to do the Blaze the Stage. We actually, he was on my show, and he called me the next day and was like, yo, I'm going to go meet the owner of Gentleman 10 so we can start this Blaze the Stage. We just talked about this shit last night.
Right.
And he was on it. And I was like, he was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. He was like, we're going to do it because I get paid to come and take pictures.
Right.
I said, well, how about this? How about throw in, they get an interview on my show? He was like, yo, that's awesome. I was like, yeah. So I threw that in.
I just said the same thing in my head.
You know, because the pictures I give pictures with no watermark. I got a water on my pictures. I got a watermark right in the middle, and I have my logo down in the corner. And when I send the pictures, when I take pictures, I give 10 pictures, which is a whole hell of a lot with no watermark.
Right,
I get no. I'm constantly taking whole lots of pictures at the show. They all go on my.
Yeah, we were kind of mad about the picture thing. We didn't get no pictures taken.
Really?
I mean, we got the video. We got the it was like 1 or 2 videos.
Oh yeah.
Because I know Scotty was Scotty shot video. He didn't take pictures.
No, I think Bobby Hendricks shot out scenes.
Oh yeah. Well, see, Scotty was supposed to be there taking pictures. That was my understanding. Scotty Banks was there supposed to be taking pictures of the artist since I wasn't going to be there. because I was going to send my homegirl to go do it, and she get paid the $100 to come and do all that. You know, you got a job and you need the day off, so you go and find one of your co-workers and be like, yo, can you work for me tomorrow?
Right.
And I work for you on such and such a day. That's what I was doing. I was like, well, you know, I'll find a homegirl. You know, she's a photographer too. She, you know, $100 is $100.
Right.
You know, so, you know, it's after 8, and that's okay. We're gonna play some music. I just talk. I told y'all I just talk. We're gonna play some music, and we're gonna come back and talk with Poverty. ENT. Yo, I'm telling you, they sent me 3 songs. They was on that shit. Yeah, we gonna. Oh, I don't know. I have to go and look again. I got 3. I know I got 3. I have to go look back in. So, yeah, we're gonna be right back. I gotta get rid of this headache. I'm not gonna make this white party. She gonna be mad as shit. Oh well. It's my homegirl. Her birthday's Wednesday, but we having a white party at Oxygen tonight.
Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I was like,
man, I gotta start knowing more stuff.
She gonna be mad with me. I'm like, I told her already I don't feel good. So we're gonna listen to some music. We're gonna come back. Complex, she's not coming back. She's not coming in today. She wasn't here last week. I don't know what's going on. I gotta hit her up and find out what's going on. So yeah, we'll be right back. Is he gonna play? Guess not. Hold up. Oh, this thing's act stupid. We having technical difficulties. Bear with me. This, I don't know if it's this. I think it might be this player. There's always something. I'm telling you, there's always something going on. Oh, that's just this damn computer. That's why I'm not on air right now. I'm on air here and I'm on air up there. But this is the damn computer. Where are you at? Come on, load up. Thank you. Oh, yes.
Shout out everybody from the 15, like all of y'all.
It won't play. Why? I downloaded this mess. Come on now. I downloaded all these damn. Okay. Let's do this. Is it gonna play now?
Man, this is all my motherfucking broke niggas, man. Here.
There we go.
Man.
Like I said, I don't know what the hell.
Lip, man, or something, man.
This shit acting dumb as hell.
Man. It's hot and hurt here. Shit, call the motherfucker plug up, man.
You got other water in here? Like for $1,000?
No, you had this one. This mine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think who else come up. A to G. A to G. He's up from Park Heights. Murder. He's a battle rapper. I don't even know. I can't even think right now.
Everybody kind of told me to dumb it down.
That's you? Why you talk so soft, but your voice is so deep?
That's the way I wanted to do it.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute, hold up.
It's the artistry. I like being creative.
I'm looking for the money. I'm looking for the money.
Damn shame. The older I get, the blinder I get.
That's
I was fine up until probably last week. Well, because I'm always on my phone and I'm always in my laptop. So I use reading glasses. This shit, it's irritating because I can see far away. So when I got my reading glasses on, everything's blurry.
Don't forget the lace, the miss. I see shit heavy as it is. My head's got the news.
Right. They had the other one. At first they had this over there. And I was like, I can't see that shit. So that's Rick Ross. Rick Ross fan. I was upset because, like I said, when I went to the Tech 9 show, all the opening acts, the Strange Music opening acts, they performed like, I don't know, it was like maybe 20 minutes or so, you know, regular opening acts. And then when Tech got on there, he performed for over 2 hours himself. So when I went to Summer Jam, and Fab, and Monica, and Rick Ross, the other dude, I don't know who he is, like YFN Lucci.
Oh yeah, YFN.
He was, I don't know.
He whined too. He's a whiner.
But they were on, like, their sets weren't that long. Even when I went and seen Rakim, he did a 40-minute set at least. I don't know how long their set was. I know Rick Ross, I was ready. I started getting dehydrated and everything else. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a couple more pictures of him and I'm out. I'm gonna go call my daughter, tell her to come pick me up. As I'm leaving, he did his last song. I was like, well, shit.
Well, maybe it was like legends. Maybe, they give courtesy to legends. Do whatever you want to do, I guess. Huh?
I don't know. Like,
I mean, I think it's great to give the audience exactly what they want, though.
And I understand.
That's work. That's work. I think we did that for like, what, 20 and some change? And that was work. I think I was jamming on every song. That was work.
And that's like I said, like, I've talked to people who like, oh, really? I was still clicked on there. Cause like, I was so happy. I had to screenshot this shit when I got tagged. 92Q Jams put the pictures I sent to them, cause I sent them like 3 to 5 pictures of each artist that performed. I was like, oh, they put my picture, like, they put up there, I was like, I'm so happy. And that's Fab. Like, Fab is like, that's Fab. Yeah, that's like one of my favorite pictures I took of him. But
it's as far as you take it, though. Once you started it, it's all up to you. As far as you wanted to go.
Yo, Rick Ross lifted up his shirt and I was like,
he's skinny as hell now, ain't he?
no, he still got a belly. He's not as big as he used to be. Yeah. But he gave a good performance too. He gave a good performance. I was just like, oh.
Sometimes I be so focused into I don't even catch up into the outside.
Well, see, and that's how like, I've talked to artists and people that they deal with, they watch their stuff. They listen to their own stuff because they really technically don't want to be so influenced by what's being played on the radio. And what people fail to realize is, if you imitate what's being played on the radio, why? They already got that. You need to find something that's going to have you stand out from everybody else. Like I was telling, I think it was last week we were talking about it, and I was like, music, the artistry and all goes in cycles. Like if you look back when they had the boy bands boy bands, and then they kind of like went out the style, and then it was the next thing, which was like I don't even know what it was. It was like then you had like the singer-songwriter females like Nora Jones and Jewel. You had those, and then it was oversaturated with that. So then here comes like I don't even know what was. Yeah, you know, like you got. So right now we got these mumble rappers. They like you hear the music and you like. That's because their jaws are locked from taking on them, popping on them pills. But like, so now I'm waiting for the next. Are we gonna, you know, what's gonna be next for hip hop? You know, we went from the Sugar Hill Gang and like even DOS Effects. Like people always like, well, you know, we talk about how they don't make it. Like the music doesn't make any sense to me. Like when I listen to it, I don't understand what they're saying. Well, what about DOS Effects? I understand that, but you know,
we can't go back. That's what they're saying.
Right.
We can't go back. The only way to go is forward, but to bring that flavor from that era.
Right.
I mean, it's gonna be hard. But it's a lot of people that's from that era that listen to that type of music and just I don't know.
And I think there's a lot of like y'all's generation and below that starting to like they listen to the old stuff. You know, like I said in other interviews, music is my therapy. Music is my life. It's my therapy. Like when I'm going, like if you on my Facebook page, and you can tell by the music that I post. If I'm putting up Tech 9 music where he's rapping real fast and she's a little mad. You know, Kevin Gates. You know, like you can always tell by my mood because when I'm feeling a certain way, I listen to certain music. And that's like I said, like certain music that I hear, like Del Buck, who was on the show. He has a song where you listen to it and you just want to sit back and just chill. Like I don't smoke weed, I don't smoke. So, but it just gives me that feeling like I'm sitting here and I'm just chilling. I'm high as hell and I'm just chilling. You know, but that's what music does. Music plays on your emotions, it plays on your feelings, and that's the reason why I said like
we try to touch these bases on that too. Right. You gotta be versatile. We try to touch on these bases. I mean, like I said, you're gonna have to step that line over with, though. You're gonna have to do something, you know, like towards the audience, like in mumble rap or whatever.
You have to do, to me, you have to do something that's going to grab somebody's attention.
It's gonna be with a big twist. It's gonna be with a big twist.
Definitely gonna be that.
You know, I think everybody's got a mad song, like, because that's, I mean, just think about it, yo. How many times have you looked at somebody, yo, why are you so mad?
Right.
You know, I mean, let's be real.
With the hook, that was the perfect hook.
Somebody out there asking somebody that question
right.
We used to say back in the day, we used to actually tell a joke and that person's like, boy, you like, what you man?
Right. That's why I said. That's why I said like music. Like when you listen to music, I think you should be able to relate to. You're not gonna be able to relate to every single song that comes out on the radio or that everybody does, but like I can relate to that because I be saying, so why are you so mad? Like why are you so mad? Poor little Tink Tink. Why are you so mad? You know.
Right.
I just had an incident with somebody that, you know, was mad at me. It was trying to get me beat up. I'm still trying to figure out why. I didn't, like, you mad because I said I made a post and it was referring to your baby mother, but I also, like, I'm sorry, I'm a female and I don't have very many, like, I really don't have that many female friends. I always relate to guys I've grown up with, you know, it was always me and my cousin. You know, I mean, I'm a tomboy at heart. Like, I'm just like, I can get along. I get along with guys a lot better. My children's father used to get mad because I was always around him and his cousins. And he'd be like, why don't you go to the house and go sit with my mother? For what? Go up there and watch TV with mama. I don't want to watch TV with your mother.
Why do you play basketball?
I'm gonna, like, I used to play football. Like, you know, I used to play football in front of my house, and, you know, I played, triple the basketball. I was the oldest child, so I got to play baseball, softball, all that shit, like catch and all that. But I find this funny that every time, like, I comment or like something on a guy's, next thing I know, I got females sending me friend requests. I don't know y'all. Why are you sending me friend requests? You know, people checking my page out because I said something. So when I got this friend request from the baby mother, I was like, why is she sending me a friend request? Like, I had added her last year when him and I became friends. She deleted me when him and I had an argument. So then she seen a picture of him and I that a photographer took. I was working, I was taking a picture, and he was standing next to me looking at me. And the way he was looking at me was like I was a nice big old juicy snack. And I'm just in the picture taking a picture. So after that surfaced, I get another friend request from her. I said, why is she friend requesting?
Oh, that's what he did.
He said, right. I said, why is she friend requesting? Oh, she wants to get to know you. Well, she should have got to know me last year when she friend requested me. I'm just saying. Oh, it's nothing. That's not nothing. No, she's not being disrespectful. Oh no, she being nosy. She being nosy. So I made a post about, I'm tired. Keep your baby mamas and your girlfriends and your wives and all out of my damn inboxes and friend requests and all this stuff. So he got mad. Why are you mad? Then I found out he was trying to get somebody to beat me up. Right. I need to send that song to him in his email and be like, "What, you mad?" But I can relate to that. Like I said, I can't relate to like Future song, that Molly Percocet. I don't pop Molly's. I don't pop Percocets. I don't drink lean, but I love me some UGK. Pimp C, rest in peace, my goodness. Uncle Chad. And B.O.M.B, I swear to God, if I could meet, there's certain artists that I want to meet, and B.O.M.B, Ghostface are two of my top ones. I got to meet David Banner. I'm cool with that. There's certain people, there's certain artists that I think they stay true to themselves. And that's what I want for all the underground artists. I don't want anybody to go against what they want to do, what they feel is right. If you feel as though you need to make a song to please, like, the radio to get airplay, if that's what you choose to do, that's cool, but don't sell your soul to that devil. And you can't have no creative control over what you do. Like we were talking, a little while ago about, making a song, feel like maybe you need to make a song like that to get your foot in the door. You know what I mean? And that way, and that's why I say about the projects that people put together. I always say the same thing. You make a project and you put music on there for everybody, all kinds of hip hop. It's like you put something out there for the ladies, you put something out there for the hood, you put something out there for that the turn up music, you know what I mean? Because somebody is going to listen to your project and they might not like that whole project, but they're going to like something on that project.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. This is the point now. I mean, we've been giving out the Power Volume 1 for free, but it's like you walk up to a person with the CD and it's like, oh, I
don't have no money.
I don't even want it. Like, now it's for free. Oh, it's free. Oh, that's okay. Oh, yeah, I'll take it.
Right.
Like, wow.
Because it's almost gotten to the point of like panhandling now. Like, I got this project and I want you to pay $5 for it, but they've never heard of you, so they feel like they're gonna waste their $5.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now people have heard that you give these. I used to say you need to give out like snippet CDs. That's what I used to like. That was my brainchild. You give out snippet CDs, or go do industry beats, and because you can't sell it. So do an industry beat CD and hand that shit out for free. And be like, yo, just give it a listen one time. That's all I'm asking. If you fuck with it, then holler at me, and and you can listen to some other music or whatever. but it's all marketing and advertising for me. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways you can go about doing it, but people, like you said, you go up to somebody with a CD, be like, I don't got no money.
Right.
You just seen them buy 3 drinks at the bar, but they ain't got, and they tip the bartender, but they ain't got no money. And be like, no, it's free. Just all I want you to do is just listen to it. If you like what you hear, holla at me. Right. You know, and I think people have gotten away from that with the internet. Right. Because what they do is just they upload this shit. Right. They just upload it.
And
put it on
said,
SoundCloud.
the shows will really get you out there. So if someone seen you at a show and they want past you, it's like, oh, I haven't seen you at the show. You got the CD? Okay, let me get, you know.
Right. See, and that's like I said, like people, you know, that's almost like how many people, I was surprised they still do it, out there selling DVDs. DVDs and seeing people's heads in the way, you know, the bootlegs that, like I used to tell people all the time, make a snippet, almost like a snippet little CD to just give away. That way they can hear a little bit taste of it. They hear a little taste of it. It's like a tester.
Right.
You feel me?
Exactly.
That's that Poplar Grove shit. That's that Poplar Grove shit. Testers.
Myself to spread the news out and everything.
And I guess and with it being so oversaturated, it's getting harder and harder for people, you know, because like I said, you
overseas, you know, you're overseas.
Man, let me tell you, they love hip hop.
Yeah, they
That's like the young man that was and before you, he said he got fans, like because from where he put his music out, he got fans in London, he got fans out in California. And I'm like, yo, that's because you have that access now. Right. So you can do just about anything. And I always said you need to get. They're not going to be back. Yeah. The only time that they're going to do that is when you make it big somewhere else.
Right. You don't even have people that's, I don't know, it's kind of even hard to find people from the bottom to come up with you. It's like, really like, why not just link up for real and come up together?
You know, and I think it's just almost like people with relationships to me. Like you get hurt in so many different relationships. People watch it. I watch people. Like when I'm out, I constantly watch people. Like I could probably just go to a mall or something and just sit there all day and just watch people because it's crazy what you'll see. Yeah. So I watch people to the point all the time. So I'm sitting back watching how they interact with me, and then I see how they interact with everybody else around them. Right. And I'm just like, okay. So I've seen a lot of people jump from this crew to this crew to that crew because whoever can get them the most help or do more stuff for them that they don't have to pay for. Yeah.
We call them leeches.
They ride, and I've seen people ride on coattails. I've seen people ride on coattails. Like, say you get your music and Squirrel plays it on his Hooligan Express, and you start getting more notoriety and this, that, and that. And you start doing, you know, events, bigger events. You know what I mean? But then you got your homeboys who's behind, be like, oh yeah, and they riding along on your coattails. They not doing the damn thing, but trying to get your connects.
You can spot them a mile away. You can spot the coattail riders out like a mile away. We've never been no coattail. Real 77 is real, so you know I'm playing around my cousins. But if my cousin is playing with a toy that I want, best believe my aunt is gonna tell me to play with something else.
Right.
So why should I ride the next man's coattail to go do what I don't even know what he about to go do?
Right.
Because send me into like a world of trouble for real.
Right.
I might just go over here and do it my own way. You know? Right.
And that's, you know, but I've seen it a lot, and like I said, I watch people all the time, and this, like I said, it went from these shows, people, everybody was there, the shows are packed, and you know, and then somewhere it kind of all dwindled away, and now we're into the where I hardly see any YBS Skull, like, you know, Meek Mill's
I get that problem, you know, great for the, you know, the grind. Great for the grind. But his music is just like, it's not for me.
Right.
His music is not.
Right. You know.
The grind though.
Coming down with he was with the boy Chino, you know, and he's done a lot for Baltimore. I'm like, what has he done for Baltimore? And that's why I should like his music, because I don't like his music. I never really have liked his music. I mean, that's just me.
He was hot when he it's like, all right.
Yeah. So I mean, that's just my opinion, you know, like. Hey, but he's done a lot for Baltimore for the art. What's he done? I mean, yes. When Stars was here last week, and he was talking about he met Game out in California, the Game out in California, and Game brought up Scooter. You know what I mean? He brought him up because he had met Scooter. Like he backing you with money.
Right.
If you be going places, and you be doing, you know, you would have been down South by Southwest this year.
Right.
You probably been on a main stage if you had somebody backing. Nine's next door neighbor, and he basically co-signed for Stars to Tech Nine. And Tech Nine was like, well, you got the money to put him on the show. That's yeah, whatever. But he talks to him like almost every day, and you know, he's trying to be on the next tour and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, if you had the money, of course I could be going places too.
Not just the back and either. You have to be clear on what your sponsor wants from you. You know, like return basically. You know what I'm saying? When you have an understanding of both parties, then it's kind of easy more, you know, to manage and everything. But I don't really know how that works because, like I said, we ain't sponsored.
Right. And I mean, more power to everybody. I think the more Baltimore hip hop underground scene is going to get noticed. Like, we're only known for The Wire, The Corner. We're only known for the uprising that happened, Freddie Gray, and you know, it put us in a and really.
We are Baltimore. I like that.
Right. You know, it was on her about the ceasefire, and you know it's.
He even know about it goes.
I posted up. Because people, I'm not saying they were trying to jump on the two of the people that were, because the one song was like multiple artists on it. I keep saying that. I will keep saying that he was murdered. You know, and I mean, I understand you got to jump on and about the injustice that was going on. It's a fine line. It's like somebody, which is. That, you know, and like I said, you know, and gets hits from all over the, like down in listening in tonight. You know, I'm mixtapes. There are various artists. Series. It was my showcase show, and it's now my radio show. I have 3 of them. I didn't ask nobody for money. I just asked them for music. That was all I asked. Just give me some music. You know, give me a couple. You know, like I said, I take pictures. Why am I taking pictures of you and you're not sharing them and using them for whatever? Why? You know, you know, I'm not doing it just because. I mean, I'm doing it. You know, I mean, it only makes sense to me. I don't know about anybody else.
I've seen people do. That's crazy.
Because what is? That's why Meek Mill's got mad.
He didn't shout him out on Twitter or something, promoting his album. He was mad about that.
Do 16 bars.
I can business point. It's because it's like, all right,
But you,
because of something for real. And like, he don't, that track was hot, I want to do some business with you, I want to sign you. It's like, nah, I got my money. You get what I'm saying? Like,
and you all just beginning.
Yeah.
Y'all are just beginning.
I mean, we've been here. So we're trying to, you know, everything in
Do when this if this doesn't work out, if this rapping thing doesn't work out, what are you gonna do? Or shooting videos, or learning how to engineer, or
the club.
Yeah,
You know? You're already taught to have a backup plan already.
no, you're taught to hustle.
You're not even doing.
You're taught to learn. You're taught how to hustle. You're taught how to, okay, this ain't working out. I gotta come up with something else. Just like I started doing the ringtones. I learned how to do ringtones on my own. So then I started doing ringtones, and my kids learned how to do ringtones. So then their friends wanted ringtones. Oh, $1. $5 for a CD.
Buy a ringtone too. I had the I-835. Love it.
I still have my, what is that? What is the gray one?
750.
No, the 8 something.
Okay.
I still have it. I still have it. My grandkids play with it. It still works. It still works. I had it. I charged it up and opened it up. I still have my ringtones. I had my ringtones on there. I had some pictures on there. I had text messages on there. I was like, oh shit. But we were talking about me and Steve was talking about they need to bring the chirp back. I like the chirp, except for when people just come through the phone. It just irritate the shit out of me. Yo, shut the fuck up. Right. But they just come through cussing it and be like, yo, like, yo, I'm standing here in front of people. You just come through cussing and carrying on. But like you said, like you have to you always have to you have to have some kind of hustle. And it doesn't have to be an illegal hustle. It could be a positive, you know. But you have to make sure, like, okay, like I said, I didn't start out to be the Baltimore Paparazzi. I didn't start out taking. I took pictures because I didn't know anybody. So I just started taking pictures. And when I posted them on MySpace, they were like, oh my God, these pictures are so good. And I'm like, this little ass camera. But I turned that into something, you know, something else. And I want to give up every day. I want to stop taking pictures because I'm just tired of it. And I'm not making any money from it. So, but I love taking pictures and I love the music scene. So that's what I do. Just like my fucking nerves. I'm sick of this shit. And then you be like, all of a sudden you be like riding down the road and something just hits you and you start writing. Like shit.
Because at the end of the day, it's about our children. It's about the kids. The kids that's coming up that really don't know too much about mama rapping, but they starting to like.
She'll give me her opinion on it. But my kids grew up on local artists and local, you know, they became fans of certain local artists. And they still follow certain artists. You know, they still listen to their music. They still listen to the radio. But I wanted them to understand that there was more than just what they hear on the radio. And because I listen to, what the hell I have on my phone? I have the Locks, the last thing that they put out, the last Filthy America, whatever it was. I don't know what it was. It was Filthy America. My friend wanted it, so I downloaded it and then I put it on my phone. I had Top 5 Dead or Alive, Jadakiss. Put that on my, you know, I have that on my phone. I have shit. I have Tech 9 on my phone. I have Jidea, J-I-D-E-E-E-N-N-A. He looked like Game. Oh, let me tell you. Y'all never seen Luke Cage on Netflix?
Oh yeah.
Remember the song Long Live the Chief?
Oh yeah.
That's him.
Oh.
That's him.
Ah, that's
Let me tell you, that CD, yeah. I was surprised that I was even liking it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
The song is like "Long Live the Chief." You know, he was standing there and with Cottonmouth, yeah. But I have him on my, like, I have a lot of different music on my phone, but I don't have like any of the new stuff that, like, I don't listen to Meek Mills. I don't listen to, like I said, Yachty or Uzi or whoever. Like I said, Designer. That boy, I swear, he get a check. He get a check. If he don't get a check, he need to get one. He really does. I'm talking about an SSI check.
It's like the creativity is gone.
But
some people still got it.
But no, what it is like you said. I think it's more. Some of it is a persona, a character.
Right.
Because let me tell you, I didn't like 2 Chainz. Like, I did not like 2 Chainz. I didn't like 2 Chainz until I heard him talk in an interview. And I was like, yo, this motherfucker's smart. He's not as dumb as his music. You know? So then I was like, there's a couple things that I like.
Just like Waka Flocka.
Waka is another one.
I don't like his music, but when I heard him talk in the interview, I was like, wow, he really got smart. Like, he's
right.
intelligent. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just like, I think it's kind of like a persona. Like, they say, okay, you all have to act this way. And that's what they did.
In order to get this money.
You know, and because I think we are now, we want almost like instant gratification. You know, we want the microwave. You know,
right.
we want stuff now. So they're giving us this dumbed down music with these awesome ass beats. So we're really not listening to the words anymore.
Right.
We're just listening to the beats. But then when people like me sit back and I listen to the words, I'm like,
didn't say anything on the track.
yo, that's what I used to say about, like, people would talk about Lil Wayne. And I liked Lil Wayne up until, was it the Carter 2, maybe? I think it might be like the Carter 2.
Carter 3, I think like after probably like the Carter
3. Yeah, it was either
like Carter
2.
3 leak tape or something like that.
Yeah. It was one of them two. After that, I was like, Lil Wayne can get on a track and spit 1 fish, 2 fish, red fish, blue fish. And somebody be like, oh my God, did you hear what Wayne just said? Yeah, he just spit Dr. Seuss.
Right.
That's how it was.
You know what I mean?
And conversations about that. He said a lot of crazy things too.
Yeah, he had that level of confidence.
And you would just be like, you'd be like, your head goes to,
everybody's hanging on to you everywhere. I can say anything I want to.
Right.
Like Kanye West, when he did that part, when he did that part at the end of the song, yeah, I thought I was around. People was really listening, like, what are you gonna say?
Right.
Oh, that's playing around. But it was still hard. Like,
right, and like I'd be like listening, and be like, my head just goes to the side, like, you know them. You see them little dogs, they put their head to the side and just confused.
That's
I'm like,
no effort. That's effortless work. Like, Magic Innocent is probably out there.
Right, they're gonna love it no matter what. They're gonna love it no matter what. And I started to see that people really did do that. Like, I'm like I said, I love Kevin Gates. I don't like all of his music, but there's certain songs that he has that I will play over and over and over and over and over. Stop Lying is one of them. Stop Lying is one of my favorite songs, and I played that. My friend was at my house one night, and I put that shit right on my TV, and I'm sitting there just. But because, you know, and like Perfect Imperfection is another one, and like, you know, there's certain songs, but then there's other songs that he has, and I'm just like, Skip, I just can't get through it, Skip, I can't get through it. But
it's not for you. The move's not for you.
Right, and like I said, certain artists, because they are signed, we just back to that, because they're signed, they have to do what that record label says.
Right.
You know, you have to be a certain way. That's like all that In Love and Hip Hop shit that they have on TV.
Yeah,
that's not reality TV because it's scripted and staged. Right. And you showing people like.
I'd rather be on Wild 'N Out.
Yo, my girl Jess is on there. Jess is on there. That's all.
Did they?
Did they?
Yeah. Nick Cannon beat into the.
I can see that happening. I really can. I went to one of her shows and she's crazy as shit. She was drunk too, but those like for my birthday a couple years ago, I spent the whole day with Mama D. Scrappy's mama. How that lady is on that TV show?
I know it is real life.
She's really like that in real fucking life.
You can tell she's not active. You can tell that.
She really is like that. And I was like, oh, because I was covering the book signing that was going on for her book, for Tamika's book, that DMX's wife and ex-wife, and my friend Keisha Starr. And Keisha was like, I was like, well, it's my birthday, you know. I was like, because they were like, well, how much you know charge to come take pictures? And I told them whatever I told them, and I was like, I'll come take them whatever. And you know, have my face all done and all that. And I spent the day with Mama D. And I was like, oh, I don't even watch that show, but this lady is crazy.
She's always been a pimp and everything.
I believe it. I believe it. But I think that the older and the more observant we are of like the actual industry, that people realize that like those artists are not, they're not real.
Right.
But then you have artists who you know are real.
Right.
He was talking about Fabulous being his favorite, his favorite artist.
Right.
And I got to thinking as he's talking, I was like, I've never really heard of Fabulous being in any scandals.
Right. Right.
You know, he wasn't out here fighting photographers or doing anything like that.
Really laid back.
Right. He does his music. He's laid back, and and that's what it is. So, I really hope that the industry part gets better. I don't foresee it because they're money hungry. David Banner, I shared a David Banner. He was at one of the Sirius XM radio stations, and the guy asked him about believing in God or whatever, and then he ended up talking about the industry, about the radio, the record industry and all. And he's spoken about this many times. That's the reason why him, Raheem DeVaughn too, really don't hear their music like that. You know what I mean?
You gotta really search for it.
That's because because they have to learn how to do it themselves.
But see, I think they both said like Sony like blackballed them. It's amazing.
I've heard a lot of things about Sony. I've heard like bad things about Sony. I heard a little bit of good things. Like Sony is everywhere.
Right.
Sony is everywhere.
I mean, they don't, and they.
Sony, like, what?
But they really, to be honest, they really are not going to give a damn if this artist doesn't fuck with them, because they got all these other artists and everything that do.
And look how big their branch is.
Right.
Like, you're just like the smallest fish in a pond to them. It doesn't really make too much of a difference unless they can make a lot of money off it.
Right. And
see what happened to Mike. See what happened.
Right. And that's what one of the guys that does a radio show at 10 o'clock here, he was doing a Michael Jackson versus Prince show.
Okay.
Well, as soon as he played Michael Jackson, Facebook Live shut him down. Is not yours on Facebook Live.
Stop talking about Sony before you shut us down.
Oh, they ain't gonna shut me down. No, they can shut that.
Got them up there, so when they got all the money for real, it's like, drop a little bit here, drop a little bit there, see who comes to pick up the crumbs and grams.
Right.
And make them do whatever you want them to do.
Puppet, like a puppet. Like a puppet.
We're not going for that. We do everything else. Right. Because it's fucked up. That's something else totally different. But other than that, we're looking to work with you. We're looking to support other rappers. You know what I mean? Like, I like our local artists, but not all of them.
Right.
In Baltimore, right? Like, we really have some people that, like, definitely is like worth listening to, but they're just like in the crevices in the corner. But like you said, some people are not serious about it, so it's just like they get a hot track and be like,
I have a friend. His name is Snaps, and he was on my show few weeks ago with Frank Lewis. Like I said, the Baltimore Hip Hop, and he's also a promoter with One Coast Entertainment. They do a winter festival every winter down at Power Plant. It's called the Frozen Harbor Tour. This year we had Onyx at Soundstage and Drew Hill at Ram's Head, and it's 2 days, 140 acts on 9 different stages.
I think I heard about that.
They do it every year. They do it every year in February, and it's 2 days of just music. And so I had him on the show because him and we've been friends since I came in the music scene. And he rapped. He's a white guy. He used to rap, and then he started throwing shows, and he's progressively went up that chain. And Snaps was one of his artists, and he is one of my favorite. Like, I absolutely love hearing his music. He gave me his whole project to listen to, and then paid me. Because I think it's awesome. I think it's great. Never got the chance to write there. I think I did start the review, but I didn't ever finish it. But he was like one of my favorite, and he don't rap anymore. Because, he had family things, and he just moved and everything, but he was like, that's just not me anymore. And I'm like, then I have another friend that when I came in the scene, he was part of a group, and he did a solo project. He did the solo project and stopped rapping. Just stop. I was like, yo, for real? Like, this project, 4 years later, I'm still listening to this project. Like, I love this project.
Some people don't want to go that far.
And he's like, I'm done. I don't want to do it no more. And I was like, yo, you traveled to Japan, and you toured overseas, and you did all this, and like, yeah, I'm done. It was like.
But he was satisfied with what he got out of it.
And that's like I said, like, that's why I said a lot of people, that it's just it's a hobby to them. They like what they do it, and those are the ones. It seems like most of those are the ones that are so remarkable. There's a couple, Dirt Platoon, who are 2 brothers that have been doing music forever. They went over to France. They were over there doing music. They up in New York all the time doing music, and they got that old 90s feel. They're like, I'm just like, they give me that old 90s feel too. Right. They're conscious rappers. Right. They're about the lyricism. They're about all that, and it's like, oh yes. Whenever I want that feel, listen to them. Right. So. There are, like you said, there's a lot of artists in the city.
And some people just don't know the next step to take. Like, what's the next goal or what's the next step for real? So it's like, well, I'd rather stop doing it before I put myself in a situation that's going to fuck me over for life.
Or they get nervous.
Yeah,
they get nervous.
Or they're just one of those people that just they.
It's like you said, it's people that can make a hot CD, but when they get on that stage, their stage performance is like nothing.
This is no lie, I was at Vanity Room one night. Nobody coming up to me. It's just one of those nights I don't want to be dealt with. I don't want people to, So this guy walked up to me. He was like, yeah, you better get your camera ready because my artist, you can't, I'll wait till he get on stage. And I'm just like, okay. My camera's always ready. That's what I do. I was like, all right. His artist literally got on stage with 3 or 4 other people behind him and was like this the whole time he was on stage. Rapping. Eyes closed. Just back and forth. Nowhere else. Didn't move his feet. Just moved back and forth.
We didn't see that.
So I'm waiting for his artist to do something. Because he promised me his artist was going to do something. I don't know what it was.
He slept for you.
He closed his eyes and rocked back and forth. And
slept walk his verse for you.
And Sparta and whatever. And I overheard him talking about something about taking only like 5 pictures of his artist, blah, 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 blah. All right, I ain't saying nothing. So then when he approached me and said something about the pictures, I was like, My picture. I said the pictures are where they're always at. They're on the Baltimore Paparazzi page on Facebook, and I took more than 5 pictures, and I walked away. Call me petty. I don't
Right,
care.
all look the same.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing anything. You know, so I'm just, you know, I'm yeah. There's so much in the city, and I'm just like, I just want people to succeed. I want everybody to succeed in whatever they wanted to succeed in. I want them to succeed. I want people to look at Baltimore for the music. We're really known for is the club music, and people really haven't they haven't jumped on that. A couple artists have.
Yeah, I heard a couple.
Mully Man did. Mully Man was a part of a song, and TT the artist. She's done music.
Iron Outlaw.
Yeah.
He did the club mix for me. That was a nice mix too. I liked that song.
He went golf.
Yeah, he went golf.
You know, so I mean,
Big up that area.
so you know, I mean, it's
Some people get scooped.
right, and you know, like people like Baltimore is known for its club music. DC is known for go-go,
Right.
and go-go like people. Some people, I don't like go-go. I can't stand go-go, but you like Drop It Like It's Hot, didn't you? That's a go-go beat.
Right.
You like that A. Marie song? That was a go-go beat. You like EU when it came out with doing the butt. You like that song? That was a go-go song. So you know, I mean, like, I think like everybody, like I've had this conversation about Baltimore. That's why I said about what do Baltimore artists, the regular Baltimore artists, what do they sound like? Because the argument I've always had is like, oh, they all try to sound like they're from New York. Oh, they all try to sound like they're from down south. And I'm like, Baltimore has its own sound. We just, some people just don't capitalize on it.
Right.
You know,
We like right there in the line. So
we're a southern state to begin with.
Right.
But
When you
we
go
never
north,
claim a southern
right.
state.
When you go north, they say you're from down south. When you go down south, they can say that you're from up north.
I lived in Virginia and Tennessee back in '94, from '94 to '97, and my first job down there was at Walmart. Now they have mountain people down in Tennessee. That means they live up in the mountains. They only come down like maybe once a month or every couple of months to get all their stuff and go back up the mountain. So I'm at work and the guy says something to me. I said, "Excuse me." He says again, I said, I'm not. All he was saying was, "Hi, how are you doing?" Or how are you today? And I finally understood. I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm doing fine." He's like, "Where are you from?" I said, I'm from Maryland." "I knew you was a damn Yankee." It's a southern state. I was like, no, but okay. But you know, I think Baltimore is. I'm tired of saying I'm gonna put Baltimore on the map. It's already on the map, sweetheart. Go look it up on Google, because I know you don't know what a real map looks like. You know, fold it out and all. But go look at it. Baltimore is on the map. It's just that instead of being known for violence and The Wire, we need to be known for positive things. We need to be known for music. And another thing is Baltimore is not part of the DMV.
It's not part of the DMV.
I had this argument. A friend of mine posted it up, and he was like, Baltimore is not part of the DMV. And this girl was like, well, Baltimore is in Maryland. And I was like, well, Delmarva is Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia, and Baltimore is not part of Delmarva. Well, yes, it is because it's part of Maryland. Bitch, where did you go to school?
They do things down here. They have events down here, but it's definitely not part of the DMV.
No, the DMV is D.C., Maryland, and Virginia, and it's only those parts around D.C. that are, the only parts are from Maryland and Virginia are right around D.C. Prince George's County, Alexandria.
That just came out of nowhere.
No, that's been what, that Baltimore was part of DMV. That's been going.
No, the DMV period.
No, the DMV's been going on for years, sweetheart. Believe me, my homeboy is like, I think he's claiming that he was the first one. My man Tony Bello, I think he was the one who said that he kind of like started that way years and years and years ago. I don't know where it started. I just know that Baltimore is not part of the DMV. Baltimore is barely even part of the state of Maryland. Baltimore is basically its own state.
Yeah.
When I used to tell people I was from Maryland, they would say Baltimore. No, I'm from the East Heard of the town? Never. So there's no sense of me even saying where I'm from. So I guess maybe that's why people from like Hartford County and all claim to be from Baltimore. Like, you know, they do music and stuff. I'm like, you're not from Baltimore, you live out in Aberdeen.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, you slap that title on there, it's like, oh, it's Baltimore.
Right.
Yeah, so
And we were down in Houston in Texas, and we was telling people we was from Baltimore, and the look on their face was crazy. They're like, oh, we're from Baltimore. We're like, oh, okay.
Right, it's like
we're like, we're not going to do anything.
Everywhere that I've been, the first thing they ask is, why I really like that?
Right.
Wow. I know it's a little bit watered down, but you know, it's cool. Like, wow, it's worse. Like, stop trying to think about it. Like, stop, you know, you might hurt yourself.
You're like, can you just listen to my music?
Right.
Listen to my music and you tell me if it's like The Wire.
Right.
Because, you know, I live in Baltimore, so my music is going to reflect Baltimore. So, so yeah, y'all see what time it is, right?
I wasn't paying attention to time.
It's like, what, 9? I can't see it. That's 18.
We got time.
It's like 9:18. So I was like, yo, I told you I would just keep on talking. It doesn't. I talk about anything and everything under the sun.
Will be sitting there. You said somebody was taking over at 10. You know.
I don't even know if he's coming. That's why I asked him if I had to lock. He said lock the door. All right, I will.
3D's cool too. He's a cool guy too. I met first time I met 3D was at the Malibu.
Yeah, Malibu.
Yeah, we did a show for Mad Max. Basically, we was all on the same song for real. We featured on one of the songs, so we did the whole song for real. That was pretty good for real. I didn't know the Malibu was like that. Yeah, that was the first time me being at the Malibu for real. Like, I was back.
I didn't go out back. I was out there for a show. We left here from here and went. I driving. They were performing, and I was in. It was Wisdom Court show. So I went out there, and once 3D got off stage, because 3D performed, and once 3D got off stage. My ex was like, "We get ready to go." I'm not used to leaving the show before the last act. Right. I'm from the first act to the end. That's just the way I am. I stay and take pictures of everybody. Take pictures of like I'm getting ready to go. He's like, "What?" I was like, "That's my ride. Anybody else want to give me a ride home? I live up York Road. You want to give me a ride?" Right. I live up there by Woodburn. You gonna give me a ride? No? Okay. So I told 3D, I was like, Mom, we getting ready to leave. He was like, you what? I was like, that's my ride. He was like, oh, all right. He's like, yeah, we getting ready to leave and probably about another artist or two. I was like, all right. But it's a nice little spot. It's kind of like crazy to get to because the GPS tells you to go down and come back around.
Yeah, we got a lot.
Turn. I'm like, why can't I just turn right the fuck here? I'm yelling at the GPS like it can hear me. It's like, yo, now I know, because I'd never been there before. I've seen a lot of people talk about performing at the Malibu, and like they started doing a whole lot of shows there. Yeah. The only thing I don't like as a promoter, but I needed to find a venue that is centrally located, like Five Seasons was. Centrally located, has parking available. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm a planner, so I have to get all this stuff together, and that's the only thing I had. Like, it's way out Eastern Avenue. You know, I'm just.
Cause I mean, like somebody in that area, a lot of people in that area rap would do something for real.
Man, so I mean, it's just like I said, I'm a planner. I don't like just. I used to be the kind of just jump into shit and just do shit and then be like, oh well, I deal with the consequences later. You know, that's how my kid's father is. He would always do, you know, he'd jump and do shit and then deal with the bitching and complaining from me later. I was like, you knew he was gonna piss me off. He's like, well,
don't beat yourself up about it. You know what I mean? If an artist wants to perform there and they know they want to perform it,
right?
They should make it there. Period.
Right. But that's just the type of person I am. I'm always thinking about the bigger. Because like, you know, like I've seen too many people bluff on coming and support certain artists and everything. Because like I said, I watch everything. So I watch what artists say, and you know, and it's one thing. Like a lot of people be like, you know, it's one thing to like buy a ticket for my show, and you don't show up. I still want that audience, and you need that ticket back so I can sell it to somebody else who's actually going to come.
Right.
You know, if that's the case, but you know, like I said, this music. I've been in this music, so I've seen a lot of stuff. Yeah. And
it really has been like nobody has really.
Right, and see, and that was the reason why. That's the reason why I always say, you know, I sell tickets. I want the artists to sell tickets. Right. Because if somebody pays $10 for a ticket, they're so.
That's when the hustle comes in too. For you know, if you got a nice gimmick, you know, to come with the tickets, you know, you might get a bigger fan base coming.
Right.
You know?
So I mean, like I said, people who have, I don't want to say that's rude. I was gonna say to have a brain.
I was say,
Go
I was
ahead.
thinking intellectual. I was thinking,
yeah, you know, that have a brain, that actually think, and that actually. And I've seen him, and I was like, oh, fuck. What's he gonna do? He got on that stage and proved me wrong, and that's what he did. So, and he's like become one of my favorite people, and he actually I had to step in because I'm so much older than everybody else. Everybody calls me Mama Lisa. So I had to put on the Mama Lisa role at Gentleman 10 one night. He was at a show, he was supposed to be performing. Cassie was supposed to be actually Dragon was supposed to be performing, but then Dragon had an emergency. Yeah, he didn't get paid. That's why he didn't show up. Event that he didn't get to perform because there was too many people performing. So I'm looking, he's getting mad and everything else. So I had to jump into my Mama Lisa role and said, "This is not the time nor the place. Calm your ass down. This is no, we're not doing this. Not here. Not now." He said, "You're right." So I look, they're holding him back. So I go over there, camera in hand, and I push whoever was in the way out the way and get in his face. He's like, "What the fuck did I just tell you?" "I know." I was like, "Calm the fuck down. Like, stop this. We're not doing this. This is not the time to keep telling you this." Not knowing that the person that I pushed out the way was the owner of the club. It ended up.
To keep you cool,
you know, I mean, I
gotta
understand.
try your best.
I understand his frustration. If you paying to perform at an event and then you don't get to pay to, you don't get to perform, well then I need my motherfucking money back. Show. He said, "That's why I'm on this show because of the last show." I said, "Oh fuck no, he need to give you your money back. I'm sorry, you need to give your money back." So you know, there's a lot of.
It happened one time. It happened one time to us for real. Where though we paid the money and then they canceled the show.
You know, I just don't. You know, that's just not my thing. Especially if it's an outrageous number.
Right.
You know, Hood says, okay, whatever the amount is, and you getting 2 hours studio time in his studio. You're getting 10 pictures from. It's supposed to be 10 pictures from me. And a radio interview from me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the money that you're paying to perform, you're getting above and beyond
Right,
that.
exactly. You get a nice network.
Because 10 pictures from me, that's more than what I put in my damn photo shoot packages, I think. I don't even know what that thing is because I don't even go by that. People are like, "How much is your photo shoot?" I said, "Well, my website says $150 for an hour." I said, "But you know, I'll work with you. That's why I don't have any money. I'll work with you. It's okay."
Did you get the picture I sent you?
Yeah, I did, but I guess I had already made the damn thing. Cause see, Hood was supposed to be sending me pictures and master of none.
Sometimes that's cool. Right? That's pretty cool.
Like,
It's a good balance.
I try. Like, I mean, sometimes, like I said, it's another skill that I've acquired. Like I said, you know, I'm not always gonna take pictures. I don't think. This thing moves so slow. Like, oh, that's the dude Frank Lewis that the I Am Baltimore Hip Hop. This is how he came on my show. With a blunt and a cigarette up in the shower cap. With a bottle of B.O.M.B, whatever that shit is. And some Ciroc, I think. Like, he was like, I'm on my way shit. But I mean,
like you said, it's fake. It's not. That's not even.
See, this was the what I had, you know, the flyer that I had made,
Right.
which was 2 pictures that I had taken of him and 1 picture that was on his website,
Right.
or 1 on his Facebook page, and then the I am Baltimore Hip Hop thing. You know, I make that's how I do, because I want people to see not only the name, but I want to see them to see your.
Next time.
It always is, because I have no problem putting people on my show at all. So, yeah, all the flyers. I got lots of flyers. Lots and lots of flyers. But,
How much you charge for
Spence is really good on the, really good on the flyers. He, I think he makes, I don't know if he makes all the pit fight flyers or not. But, yeah, that's Fat Boy DZ. That's for his birthday. That was a photo shoot I did down in Houston. But yeah, so my head is really throbbing right now.
That hit you up for a photo shoot.
Like I said, I'm always it's like,
overdue for a photo shoot.
man, I'm telling you, like
Definitely bullshit.
it's like I said, that's what I was telling Ambition. I Ambition. What? Yeah. I'm getting sleepy too, so y'all have to mind me. My head is hurting. I'm getting sleepy, but but it's like I think we got like 4 rooms, something, and like yeah. I was trying to find this picture, but I don't know where it's at. But I told him, I said, we don't have to do it in the studio. We can go to, you know, a location and do pictures or whatever. I did for K Fields when Division first came. You know, I didn't know who they were. I'd never seen them. I gave them their first show. So, and I did their first photo shoot. So, like. Me down here, I'm gonna get my fat ass run over because cars were coming down the street. So this big dude stood there. He's like, "No, you're not, baby. They hit me first." I was like, "Oh, okay. 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 Yeah." So, but yeah, like I said, like the music scene is like it's blossomed so. Shows. If they were taking pictures of only their people, or you know, they were taking a couple shots, and that was it. J5, he was a photographer, but he was doing videos. Then he was videotaping the shows.
Ever heard of Dale Austin?
Yeah.
Dale Austin.
Yeah. I had to stop and think. I remember his name, and I was like processing where it was at. Kelly Conley, she was taking pictures at the show. Everybody kept calling me Kelly because we're both white. That's why I kept telling. That's why it's like Dirk between me and he said Kelly. I was like, no, I'm Lisa, other white girl. You know, so that like it wasn't that many people. And now I look around and like everybody's got these big cameras with the big flashes with the big lenses, and I'm looking at them going, you need all that to take a picture? Oh, okay, I'm gonna take my Nikon here. and take a picture with my normal lens,
Right.
and my pictures turn out better than yours. So,
Yeah, I just think people do videos.
or whatever with the mic. So that's me and David Banner.
Okay.
Me and David Banner. He was so super nice.
God, smart guy.
Oh, he's intelligent, and that is my. I'm part of a. It's called QS Productions. This is my booking manager, Shantae, and these are this is the male and the female exotic dancer, and she is a MC, a host, and then there's me.
Okay.
So I'm doing like
Okay.
I'll be taking pictures in November of the female, like I'm like I take pictures at the male strip shows and the female strip show. And everyone's like, what? I was like, yeah. I don't yeah. The guys don't yeah. I don't care. Like
It's a job.
it's a job. So yes, like I said, I
mean, it's better working for yourself than, a dead-end job.
phew.
I mean, it's hard, but I'd rather work for myself than a dead-end job.
Like this music scene, like I said, if you do everything like if you do everything right, you're gonna get somewhere. There's no, like I said, that's why I said I like talking to people who have that mind, that like their minds. Do you have anything, anything coming up? Nah. I mean, we working on something. We all working on something. I'm telling you.
We were just talking about that before we got here.
Like,
I'm sorry to say, but I mean, it's true. That's just so true. I mean, you got people that
There's a lot of it.
don't know no better. I mean, like
because their homeboys told them, oh yeah, you can rap, Then they start rapping, but they don't know the business side of it.
Right.
And that's like,
even like from my era, it was like you had to be educated. Like if you're gonna go here and do some street shit, you're gonna go here and be a thug or a gangster or whatever, make sure you got some smuck.
like, I'm not from Baltimore. I lived in an all-white town. It was an all-white town until it was like 1990, 91. Black people. I mean, I went to school. We had black people, but in the town I lived in, there was no black people at all. There was outside of town, and then where my children's father, where he's from, it's another little town called Fawntown. And then they lived everywhere, but those were like those two specific areas is where the black families lived, and that's the way it had always been. So people wonder how I came to be like I am, because I'm smart and I'm thinking for myself.
Right.
But so coming to Baltimore, I had to. Well, even before I was in Baltimore, because I was in Job Corps for 3 years, and everybody I was around, all the females I was around, were from Philly, D.C., and Baltimore. So, like, when you go to Job Corps is funny to me because I had fun.
I've heard so many Job
Like,
stories.
I went to all female Job Corps because I needed to get away from my children's father. That was before we had kids. But you're there for like 6 months, and you're already like an OG. 6 months and you're like an OG. So like the new girls were coming in and they got attitudes because they would sit there and this, that, and third, and I want to take over. Bitch, what you taking over? So I don't care. Just leave me out of it. I'm here to get my education. I was doing shit I wasn't supposed to do. Like, even though I was 21, I wasn't allowed to drink. I came back on center so many times drunk as shit. Because if they caught you, they gave you a breathalyzer. Them bitches knew I was drunk. So, like, I did so much stuff, but I was such a good person, and I was so nice, and, I did everything I was supposed to. I got away with a whole lot of shit. Like, I didn't go to class half the damn time. Like, I'd stay in my room, and I was supposed to be, like, when I didn't go to college, because I went to college while I was there. And when college was closed, we were supposed to go to our trade classes. What the fuck I'm going to my trade class for? I'm done my trade. So I would stay in my room and be like, do you have a CD there? I was like, yep, sure do, just don't have the paper. They'd be like, whatever, Lisa. Like, I got away with shit. So I'm not one of those people that I didn't grow up in the hood, but I grasped onto the mentality of survival when I did move here. I'm fucking intelligent. My brain is intelligent. I'm very logical when it comes to certain. I do dumb shit, but don't we all?
Yeah, right. You
But
gotta work on your character.
when I look at some of these kids in the neighborhoods, and I'm like, y'all better hope you got some street smarts, because you dumb as hell. Like, like my children's father, he's not book smart, he's not school smart, not by any means. He's logical when it comes to street stuff. The other, no. But you're right. I think people need to have a balance of both of them, because especially with this music scene, I've seen it too many times. You get these guys who are from the hood, they street, been locked up, been to jail, they doing music, but they can't separate that street from that business, and it causes a whole lot of problems. Sometimes you do have to jack somebody up because they play you. I've been to one show where I felt like I had to watch my back. I've never felt like that any other show. But dude was up, two guys at two different times had gotten up on stage. Hey, y'all can't fuck with me. Hey, ain't nobody here can fuck with me. And I'm looking around and I'm looking at the faces of these dudes they street, they hood, because people brought their people in to watch them perform. These motherfuckers, they're not. You can't take them to the club. You're gonna be on Channel 13 News, and I'm looking at the people's faces. I'm like, okay, who's gonna throw the first punch? And I put my back up against the speakers, and I'm just like waiting for these. You can't you have to have some kind of common sense when it comes to that. Professionalism. Sometimes you got them people, you got them homeboys. You be like, yo, if you come to the show, you can't be on no dumb shit. You just can't.
When you first stepping into it, you should already have your mindset of saying, all right, this is a business. I mean, this is a job. I mean, like, you're not just going to do music and just, sit around with it. I mean, if you do, that's what you plan on doing with it. But if you're going to actually do shows and everything like that, then you definitely need to be professional. Right,
because like Unknown's like, I could pack this place with my homeboys and stuff, because he's part of the Rough Riders motorcycle club. He said, but they don't know how to act sometimes, so I can't bring them around. And I was like, yeah, I got friends like that. Like my godson's mother, like when I was cool with her, she'd be like, I want to go to the show. But like, oh man, no, you're gonna get in there and somebody gonna say something, and you gonna be like, because she does that. She would do that shit in the fucking grocery store. And I'm like, oh, I'm not up for that. So, like I said,
you keep it cool for so long and so much. If it feels as though you're about to pop, just leave.
Right.
Just walk away.
And that, because any promoter is going to watch.
Yeah, you never know who's watching.
Is going to watch and see if they have any, especially if they've never dealt with you before. They're going to watch and see if they have issues with you or your people. That's what I did. I would watch and see, and how the professionalism. And that's why I said, that's why you all came early. I was like, oh yes, because when y'all hit the door, and I was like, I'm looking. She said she's still waiting for her brother. I'm not going. I'm sorry. I looked at the time. I was like, oh shit, they like 15 minutes. Okay, because he was like 15 minutes. I was like, yes, I'm loving this.
Yeah, because at first we went back there to the studio, and 3D was showing us around and everything for real. So I was like, wow, that's what's up. Like, we're ready.
Yeah. But I don't know why he did that, because everybody's moving out of this building. The new owners bought the building, and
I ain't seen him since the Malibu, so he's probably just happy. I don't know.
Right. He just like showing people, because that's what we do. Like what I would do is after my interview, I would take everybody around and show them the studio and everything. because I'm trying to generate business for the studio.
Exactly. Right.
You know, so you know, it's a nice big studio, nice big area, you know, everything. I'm mad that we got to move out of here and Tupac's on the damn wall and Tupac's going to be painted over. Like, not like
that. Definitely a nice paint.
Yeah. Yes. God, he did a good job on that. He did a really good job on that. So, but yeah, I guess we should get out of here. It's already like 9:45. But like I said, I've enjoyed this 2-hour conversation. 2 hours and 45-minute conversation. Like I said, conversation. Like I said, I ask a question, and everything goes around and comes back around, and you know, it's always good because you can see the mentality of people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you can really see the mentality when you talk to somebody, and you don't. I'm just not reading questions off a piece of paper.
Right.
You know. Just like I had somebody hit me up and be like, so what questions are you going to ask? Hell if I know. I don't know. What do you want me to ask? You want me to ask something specific? Like, you know?
I mean, you know, just so they can rehearse.
Right. What?
Sounds like two robots in here.
I'm not going to ask you. Hard Body Radio is known for its hard body radio. Right. Like, they ask questions that you don't want to answer. Because you sit there, as soon as they answer, you be like, this might be a lawsuit. But, you know, 3D used to sit on my show when we were in the other room. And he would ask a question, be like, hey, that's a Friday night show question. Because I don't ask them kind of questions in here. How do you talk about somebody about their music and it goes from talking about your project to talking about, I think what they was paying for rent was sex or something. I was like, yo, how the hell did you get to that point? How did you get from A to fucking triple Z? I don't understand. I was like, oh, I don't know. That's not my route. I'm too old for that shit. I'm asking about music. I want to know where your head is. I want to know what you plan on doing. You know, where your head is at with this music shit. You know, do you got a plan for like 5-10 years from now? You know, that's what I want to know. I don't give a damn about baby mamas, girlfriends, wives. I don't care about none of that stuff. I don't care. I got enough drama with my own life. I don't need to know anybody else's. If I want drama, I'll go watch Love and Hip Hop. That's all.
Right.
So, yeah. So, most definitely, like I said, I gotta the next 2 weeks. Well, no, next week I'm supposed to be going to my family reunion. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it. I want to. I ain't seen that side of the family in about 2 years now. But the last 2 weeks of August will be the last few people, I guess, of the show, and then I can start booking the artists that I've been trying to book for my show. Because I had to get the Blaze the Stage artist through. And then, so.
Definitely, you know, lock me into contact, you know. We're here.
Oh yeah, I got you. I got the email. I got everything. Yeah, make sure Baltimore Paparazzi on Facebook. Yeah. You like it? That's where any information will be about anything. I guess I don't even know. I'm trying to do more. I'm trying to keep it more like people who like Billy Live and Wisdom Court are always asking for like new artists. So a lot of people I don't have on Facebook because I really don't want to add anybody on Facebook. I tell them to go to my Baltimore Paparazzi page, like the page. That's where stuff is going to be.
Right. Okay.
That's where all, because like I go through too many emotions on my Facebook page, and y'all be reading that shit and be like, yo, what? Because my homeboy had passed away. Yeah, he a couple of weeks before he passed away, I went up and seen him. I didn't know he was in the hospital. He was like, I've been in the hospital for the past 2 months. I was like, what the hell? So I went up there and he was like, because he hit me, he was like, yo, Lisa, who you beefing with? I was like, I'm not beefing with nobody. He was like, your Facebook tells me different. I was like, oh. I said, it's just a dude I used to talk to and he's talking hella shit and da da da. And he was like,
like you, bro.
what?
Facebook.
I can't help it. It's my expression. Like, I had to get it off of my mind. Like, I write shit and get it off my mind. You still in here? Oh. Yeah, so I'm getting ready to get out of here.
No, take the time. Do what you want to do.
I'm supposed to be. I'm going home, go to hell to bed. I'm supposed to be. She just sent me something. She waiting on her brother.
Okay.
I can't do it. My head hurts. My head hurts. But
Yeah, I'm probably going to get out of here for this time.
So.
Just want to come back, make sure everything's good. I need to get my camera.
So what you want me to do?
I want you to holler at me next time I see you, man.
I don't even like you, y'all. I was going to say, where the hell's your phone at?
Alright, let's see. Alright, I'll see you later.
Love you.
Bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, need that. Let me see you shit on the I gotta get the other guy see you too, Kelly, the other day.
Yeah. All right, I'll lock up.
Alright, bro.
Appreciate it, thank you.
All right. But yeah, so.
Yeah, you can find us on SoundCloud, Paparazzi, YouTube, Reverb Nation, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr. Google Plus, TuneCore. I mean,
just Google them.
Just trying to spread it everywhere. Just trying
Remember
to spread
that dumbass song that girl sang, "Google Me, baby." Yeah, that's all you gotta do. That's what I tell people all the time. But you're not gonna really. When you pull up Baltimore Paparazzi, it pulls up the damn club. So yeah, but that Liesel 127, yeah, it brings up everything of mine.
Yeah. Also check out the Rage On app if you got an iPhone.
I ain't
Check
got
out
iPhone.
the Rage On app for real. It's, we got a clothing line on there. We got a clothing line on there.
I just got my Samsung back. I had to go down to a Kyocera, a $30 phone, because I'm poor, and my fucking Samsung 3 decided I don't want to charge. That port is just I don't feel like dealing with y'all no more. So it stopped charging. So then I got my lovely Samsung 6 on my monthly payments from Boost Mobile. Yes.
Well, I'm trying to get something on Android also, for the clothing line. And Money Hustle Mayhem, But for right now, it's on the iPhone. I just heard about that myself. And,
there you go. Hey, whatever works. That's all.
Rage On.
Just whatever works. That's what I say. But, yeah, like I said, I told you we'd be here all goddamn night. I do this shit all the time. I had Tay G in here, and we was in here for 3 damn hours with him. And I was like, oh, Tay, do you realize we've been on the air for 3 hours? He was like, so? They just love talking to me, I guess. But, right. So next week, I don't think I'm going to be here. I'm really trying to go home to see my children's family. They're actually my family. They have been since 1990. So.
Well, if you want me to co-host and interview your guests, I will do it. Free of charge too. We come from Pine.
Right.
So, yeah.
Help me, help you. Help me, help you. Right. That's how we do. So, but yeah, I don't know what's going on for next week just yet. But there's 2 people watching. How y'all doing?
What up?
That's what it says up here. It says 2 people watching, so I don't know. Yeah. So I'm not sure.
Now back.
There you go. Hey, how you doing? But yeah, definitely. Like I said, most likely I'll be having you guys back because you're gonna put another project out and be like, yo, Lisa, can we come and talk about our new project? And I'll be like, sure, I ain't got nobody scheduled. Come on. That's what I do. I don't even try to schedule people like weeks and weeks ahead of time because people forget. So like I said, I do. I forget all the time. My brain just not like it used to be.
And if you ain't got a copy of the CD yet, that just means that we ain't bump into you yet.
Right. So that's why you gotta look them up.
Right, gotta look up.
Right.
Go to SoundCloud. That's the best.
SoundCloud.
The most music is on SoundCloud right now until we get our video shit together.
Mm-hmm. So I will be here week after next, most likely. I don't know. Something might change. I don't know. You'll find out if you follow me on Facebook, either my Facebook page, my real one, not my other 2, because I got 3. or my Baltimore Paparazzi page. I'm still working on the website. Still working on that website. I hate this. I hate this new website. I really do. I really hate it. So, but yeah. So I will be seeing y'all, and probably in 2 weeks. I don't know. Like I said, stay tuned. But thank y'all for coming through. Thank y'all for laughing with me, and because these two over here look like they've been ready to fall asleep. They got real quiet on us. Didn't say too much.
I mean, I'm hungry a little bit.
I went home and made a sandwich. I thought maybe my headache was because I hadn't eaten, and I went home and I made a sandwich, and it didn't work because my head is just like boom, 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 boom. So I gotta go home and find me something to take. I don't even want to take nothing, but
I don't know. We're thinking about food a lot.
So, like I said, thank you for tuning in to Hard Body Radio in the Spotlight, Baltimore Paparazzi. Thank you to Poverty NT. Go Google them, find out where they at, find some music. Like I said, I got a new CD to put in my car.
Find the speed.
Yeah. Support is always welcome. So, check y'all next week after. But always stay tuned. Baltimore Paparazzi. See, I'm sleepy. Tune in to Hard Body Radio. Apparently we got a new show coming. So yeah, can't wait to see what that one's about. So holla at me when you can. All right, peace. Boo, boo, boo.